Welcome and congratulations on your life decisions that led you to this point, watching the live stream on the Pits TV or here at Koken, Woodford, Glen for what is going to be an absolutely stunning night. I think Steve Lennon is going after a record for how much Speedway action he can jam pack into one night, because we have the Garage16 New Zealand Streetstock GP, and this is only 1 week after the NZ Champs, so a lot of scores to settle. We also have the Black Baldy and Co. Extreme Dirt Series, Super Saloons up the wazoo. We also have tonight the Canterbury Stock Car Championships. Aaron, what do you think?
Mate, I'm absolutely pumped like everyone else here. We have been waiting and waiting and waiting for some Speedway action. It's just absolutely crazy, and as you can see with the cars going around now from the street stock side of things, we expect some pretty good action that we're always promised when we come down to this track when it comes to street stocks. But yeah, the Extreme Dirt Series, well, there's some really good contenders in that, so there should be some good racing. Short format racing though, I believe it's 10 laps, so per race, so that's all good. And we've also got the qualifying for the Canterbury Stock Car Champs, and that's going to be a brutal encounter, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon. But before we go on about that, we should probably introduce ourselves, because we're not always on the Pits TV. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. My name is Vince, and this is Aaron, and we are from Garage16, and we are so proud to bring the GP here today. We're also from the NZ Dirt Track Racing magazine as well. So buy the latest copy. It's great stuff, Aaron.
Yeah, mate, it is. So no, it is. It's great to be here. Anytime we get the opportunity to come on and come on the Pits TV and be part of their awesome live streams, and those that are home watching it tonight, I'm sure you will get your value for money. And those that are here out in the crowd, this crowd is building already. They said to me that a Friday night of a 2-night championships was not going to be that busy, but this crowd's building nicely, mate.
Yeah, I mean, where I usually sit, which is on turn 4 there, that's pretty full. I wouldn't be able to get a seat there, I don't think, so that's pretty awesome that everyone has turned out here to Koken, Woodford, Glen. But going back to the street stocks, to the GP, the format that we talked about, I believe each driver has 3 races tonight, 3 heats, and then 2 more tomorrow.
Yep.
And the top 24 make it through to the all or nothing final tomorrow night. And there are 2 record charges tomorrow night as well, so the top 3 from them make it through to the final 2. So, and how about that New Zealand Champs last week in Glen?
Wow.
What do you think is going to happen tonight? I mean, it's the first time we get to see the new 1, 2 and 3 in Z, because I believe they are all here tonight.
Yeah, actually, if we get our cameraman just to pan around there right now, we've got the 1NZ coming into the track, and we're going to have a bit of a chat to these guys and talk a little bit about what happened in that championship. But I think there's also going to be a little bit of retribution tonight. There was a couple of bits and pieces went on in the New Zealands, and maybe this is the place that they're going to sort it out, maybe not, who knows.
I think this is also probably the place where we should ask them live those difficult questions like, what were you doing there, or how do you feel about that? So let's take a look at these street stocks in the middle here, 1, 2 and 3NZ. Look, should we start with?
Should we start with the winner?
Should we start? Do we not want to climax on the winner?
No, we'll come back.
All right,
come
mate.
back for that.
All right. Do you want to take this one?
Absolutely.
Paul Leslie.
Hey mate, congratulations.
Cheers, man.
So we've got Paul Leslie here. So 1NZ, mate.
Yeah.
How does that feel? That must be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's hasn't really sunk in properly yet. She's been a full-on week, so a few late nights this week. So it put the number on last night. It felt pretty cool. Sitting in the shed.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a strong contingent of Streetstocks here in Christchurch as well. So it must be a pretty proud moment to bring it on home here to Koken, Woodford, Glen.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's been some dudes that have had it before, and it's pretty cool to bring it home. Been racing here for a few years now, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
And from a titles point of view, is this the biggest thing you've won in your career?
Yep. So far, it's up there with the Origin wins, but I think it pips that. Yeah.
And in true street stock fashion, because I know it happens in stock cars and all of that sort of stuff, some tell me that having the number one on the car can sometimes be a bit of a burden in the preceding rounds and season. Do you expect to get a little bit of niggle now that you've got this beautiful number in your car?
Oh, it's bound to happen. I think just comes with it. But we'll just take it in our stride, and if it gets bent, it gets bent. We'll fix it and come out next week.
That's absolutely brilliant. Well, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to cut on over to Vince Aries chatting to the number 2 NZ.
That's the one. All right, so let's get in front of the car just here. The beautiful car. It's beautiful because it has the 2NZ on it. Mike Jones.
Yep.
How you doing?
Good.
We'll bring you around here, mate. So, 2NZ, is this new for you?
Yep. Yeah. I still don't believe it. I'm still, I'm speechless.
Literally speechless, mate. It's pretty rare to be able to get a number, especially in a huge field of street stocks. Can you walk us through the emotion of last weekend and from the start of the meeting right up until when you crossed the line and you found out that you were 2NZ?
Really, I the weather wasn't playing the game and the track just didn't suit my driving, and for some reason I just decided to drive differently, which I never normally do, and it worked. And after the first night, I thought, bugger it, I'll keep doing the same boring driving style and just try and keep my tyres on and finish races. I even let a couple of people go and just sit there, just being smart, and it worked. So I'm blown away. I just can't believe it.
Awesome. So literally a new driving style, and it brings you a new number.
Yep.
Sweet, man. So tell us one thing. Who have you got it out for tonight? Because last weekend, come on, there must have been someone in there that did you dirty.
No, everyone's pretty good, but the old 9B, I'll give him a wee tap, give him a wee bit of a love tap. I love him, but I've got to give him a wee love tap, yeah.
Awesome, mate. It's a pleasure talking to you. No doubt we'll talk to you a bit later on tonight. We'll go over to Aaron now. I'm sure he has the next driver, the 3NZ, lined up.
Okay, so we got the 3NZ here. We got Steve Soper, and first two guys are carrying the C on the car, but you are representing Nelson. So cool run, got into 3NZ. Were you happy with that?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, the first job's to qualify, and we managed to do that and keep the nose clean on the Sunday through the finals and come away with the number. So. Yeah.
And what does it take? I mean, obviously things are relatively close to home and stuff. Was that an advantage coming through?
I guess it might have been a wee bit. We got a couple of runs over there prior to the champs, but so I think definitely paid off getting a couple of runs in. Yeah.
Sweet. So we're running the GP straight after the New Zealand's. What's the goals? Are you just going to go around there and just show off the number, or are you going to get into it tonight?
No. We've never just gone out there to show the number off, you know. Everyone's got bumpers out there and everyone's got a number on the side of the door, so we're putting on a show.
Absolutely, and that is exactly what this crowd want to see. All the best tonight for the 3NZ. Steve Soper, thank you very much for your time.
Cool, thanks, mate.
Aaron, how about those 3 drivers showing off their top numbers for the very first time? I'm sure they are ecstatic to be here for the Garage16 New Zealand Streetstock GP. Well done, boys, and we look forward to seeing what you do tonight.
And Tony, of course, the production's having a couple of visitors out there.
Yeah, we've got the 803 car from Cromwell. They're not quite sure who that is.
We will do as soon as our ELS decides it wants to talk to us.
Don't think we've seen that car here at Woodford Glen so far this season, so that's a new one. But we're about to go racing, and away we go.
And we're off as Clark leads us away, followed by Rooney in the 188, Fairburn in the Honda Tornado there. Ooh, big push on the 17 car, just about slices the nose off the 78. Clark gets away with it down the back straight, dives to that pole line though. And you can see where we haven't watered the track on the inside of the pole line, just little clouds of dust being flicked up already. And that is intentional, is to give the referees an idea of who's crossing the pole line through the corners. But Clark has pulled the ears back, and he's on a bit of a flurry out at the front there trying to. As the 92 car pulls into the infield very quickly on the front straight here. And battles as we look back through the field. The 68 Affilius up the inside of the Cromwell visitor. Clark, they're well out in front. Rooney in the Safa toolboxes. Commodore just able to hold that mid-track. Fairburn's car does not want to stay low on the track.
It's not handling at all, is it?
What's really interesting is that, believe it or not, some of the Super Saloon drivers will be up on the fence trying to read the track from what the productions are doing, and if all of a sudden your car's going to mid-corner pushes, it's going to be scary for you in the Super, especially when you get off to come off turn 4 later in the night. But out in front it is Ian Clark. Oh, Fairburn's decided to take a chunk of wall with him, all by him little old lonesome. The 91 car of BMW pulling in on the back straight there. So Fairburn here having a battle with the Dunedin visitor. And look, the one making the moves at the moment is the 68 of David Filius. Fairburn just cannot keep that 17 car down. But watch Filius here, he's all over the back of the 2 Hondas in front of him. He's going to go to the go to the inside, the outside. He was going to go down the middle there for a second. He's put the nose up the inside of Fairburn, and he's going to hold it down low. Ian Clark, he's been given this race. Everyone's just left him alone. He's running out in front. He'll be pleased. It a bit of a rebuild in the last couple of weeks. Back to Greg Rooney and then David Filius. Looking at the 808 car, 80 down the back straight, managing to keep through the 188 of Rooney off Enviro Waste, but Clark, he has the best part of the front straight over the 188 car. And Nick Fraser in the 99, the Scrapman entry, all over the back of the... I'm going to presume it's 48, Tony. I can't...
It's 48, yeah.
It's not the easiest numbers to read on the far side. As Clark takes the white flag, goes back to Rooney. Rooney's going to have a real battle here with him and David Filius.
Filius has been the big mover, I think, in this race, really, in terms of go forward.
Although, to be fair, the Rooney-Filius battle has been on for about 20 years with productions.
Nick Fraser coming through strongly in that 99 in the last few laps as well.
Rooney has passed up the second place to David Filius. Out in front, though, the race has gone to Clark. And fairly close for second, third and fourth. But it was Ian Clark from start to finish. So that was our first race, brought courtesy of X Factor Cars. First up will be the Super Saloons Group A versus Group F. It will be brought to us courtesy of Horsepower Heads. And we will be heading to the pits now.
How exciting is this? I have Harley Robb here, and he's going to announce for us the Can-Do Fishing Crushers Stock Car team that are going to participate in the Stock Car New Zealand Championships next month. Harley Robb, do you want to go straight into it, or do you want to tease us a bit?
Oh, I don't know if I should tease it or not. Well, we're not going to change something that's not broken, so we're going to stick with 4C Braden Lennon, the 15C of James Sion, the 151 of Wade Sweeting, and the 317 of Jay Holtham, and then of course the old budger, the 991. I'll be in there, hopefully the reserve driver. And then we've got Awa Jones in the 56. He's going up as our 6th driver. So the boys are fizzed. Yeah, we can't wait to get into it.
Awesome, mate. I got 2 quick questions for you. I think you said 17 races on the trot that you haven't lost. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's about 17. It's around that number. No, the boys have been doing real good. It's the first time in a long time we've felt comfortable with a good team. So, no, we're really looking forward to Huntley and bring it on.
And Can Do Fishing have come on board as the naming rights sponsor. How good is that, and what does that do for the team?
Oh, it's awesome, you know. We've never really had much of a backing before, so to have someone like Campbell jump on board with the team, it's massive. Like, I just went into Mega Turbo today and we've got brand new Kuba Cobras for every single race to put on our cars. So tyres win races, and you've got good tyres on there, it's going to help.
Beautiful, mate. One more time, who has made it into the Can Do Fishing crushes this year?
4C of Braden Lennon, got the 15C of James Sion, the 151 of Wade Sweeting, the 317 of Jay Holtham, and the 991 of Harley Robb.
Lovely, mate. Pleasure to talk to you as always, and we'll pop it up to you guys in the commentary box.
Thank you, and congratulations to those drivers who've made it into the Crushers squad.
Congratulations, we're about to spend all your money.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're about to finish the season early and poor. But anyway,
I'd love to say it was a surprise, but actually, to be fair, when you watch the performance of the team at the mainlands and seeing how the team's developed over the last couple of years, that team kind of picks itself.
Oh, it does. Absolutely, it does. And you know, I mean, I don't think we're being unfair in saying that they've actually got a reasonable chance, a good show of being fully competitive in that event.
The biggest mistake you can make in teams racing is assume you've won it before you actually get on the track.
Yeah, I didn't say I didn't say they'd win it, but they're going to be competitive. And you know, we haven't always sent a team that you could feel confident would be competitive before the event has even started. But that team, I think you can.
It doesn't matter how hard the job is, we suck it up and get it done. No matter how dirty our hands have to get, we suck it up and get it done. Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up.
Suck it up and get it done with suckitup.co.nz.
Alright, so we're about to get a race start. First heat for the New Zealand Extreme Dirt Series, and what a start. Not ideal if you are the 3NZ of Craig Cardwell. He's returned to the track via the infield, and I'm not sure the referee's going to be too happy with that.
Yeah, I guess there are a number of drivers that raced with one eye, and there was an incident, I think. Don't worry, some of them raced with both eyes closed too.
Yeah.
But poor old Craig Cardwell there really did nothing wrong. He just had to hang on, and when he pulled back out, hope he didn't get rear-ended. But they got on the gas, and the 7 car just chopped him. So
Brent Emerson in the 7 car off the front there alongside Cardwell. Snedden tucked in behind Burson in the second row.
That would have been fun if you're Burson and Snedden were sitting behind those two, watching
those two. Alrighty, so take 2 for the Black Baldy Cattle Company Extreme Dirt Series. It kicks off properly this time, and Craig Cardwell gets the jump on the goat into turn 1. Burson running a little high on the track, losing some ground there. Snedden's made his way through, so's the 37 car. They're side by side down the back straight past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand into Envirowaste turn, and Burson has got that car out wide and losing places all the time. Out front, Cardwell's well dialed in. We've seen him multiple times here at Woodford Glen in the last few seasons. He knows this track well, he knows what to expect, and he has got that car dialed in a treat. Second place at the moment, the 7 car from the Mount. Goat, Brent Emerson. Benji Snedden, the 8K car. Handles a little differently to his sprint car, but he's certainly getting the hang of it around this Woodford Glen track. The 37 machine there, Steve Cowling, holding on to 4th place at the moment. Again, a frequent visitor here to Koken Woodford Glen. Behind him, tucked in the 36 car of Dale Bigwood. Then we go back to the 77 of Johnson. The 891, Josh Bolton, made up a few places from the back of the field. Behind him is Burson, the 69 car of Craig Partington, second to last in the back of the field at the moment, but holding on to the train, I have to say, is the 881 of Matt Summerfield. So we're 4 laps down, And out front, it's no contest. The 3NZ car, Craig Cardwell. Down the front straight, ticks off another lap. Quite a gap back to the 7 of Emerson. 2.5 seconds back to second place. He's keeping Snedden at bay, and the 37 of Steve Cowling starting to pick up the pace a little bit, starting to monster the back of Snedden's car. Quite a gap back to the 5th placed car, the 36 machine there of the Snowman, Dale Bigwood, and the rest of the field strung out behind him. So down the back straight, past Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand goes Craig Cardwell. Tucks the nose into 3 and 4. Keeps a very tidy line round the middle of the track. Lets the car do the work. You don't get the impression he's fighting that car at all. He's working it, letting it do its thing, and it's putting in some pretty impressive lap times for him. The gap now opened up to 2.5 seconds, still at 2.5 seconds over Emerson. Third place car just dropping off the back of Emerson now as he's having that Snedden as he has to defend from Cowling. So Cowling making his move now, looking for an opportunity up the inside out of turn 2, but didn't quite get the grip there. Car started to push and he had to back out of it. White zone now, 1 to go for Cardwell. 3NZ leads this race. 2.4 seconds from the second place car of Emerson. Side by side for third, Snedden and Cowling. As he comes out of turn 4, here he is, your race winner, taking the first checkered for the night. Craig Cardwell, Emerson in second. Snedden had the better of that battle in the long run to take out third.
As the rest of the pack finishes through, Cowling there clocking up the fastest lap time of a 16.705. But most of that pack comfortably in the mid-17s for most of that race. Really good movers, Bolton off the back coming through, although that car was overheating by the end of, well, may not have been overheating, but it was spraying water out by the end of the race.
Something was happening to
Burst and slipped back, and then he got almost like a boost of confidence midway through that race. And I'd say for a few of those drivers that haven't raced here for a wee while, that settled the nerves down.
Yeah.
Track has marbled up a little bit, so they've been all instructed to pack that top line. As we look over to the pit chute, it'll be Streetstocks up next. That race was brought to us courtesy of Horsepower Heads. And Cardwell waiting for his checkered flag. It's been a while since the Cardwell's had a checkered flag. He's forgotten where to go pick it up from.
Yes, indeed. Although it was, on one occasion, a very, very familiar sight, wasn't it? Very frequent name to be associated with the checkered flag here at Woodford Glen. I did see Tony ride around on the car earlier during the parade lap, so great to have him back here at Koken Woodford Glen. Of
course, one of the biggest talking points in Super Saloons for many years around this track was the feud between Dennis Bolt and Tony Cardwell.
Yep.
Even to the point where Tony didn't race here for a number of years. And I remember fondly when they came back first corner and their hook front bumpers ended up stuck in the middle of turn 1 and 2. But of course, all a bit different these days.
It's different these days. There's a different type of intensity about Super Saloon racing these days, and there you go. So big thank you to Horsepower Heads for bringing us that race, and X Factor Cars for bringing us productions. Next up, Streetstock's courtesy of Mr. Whippy.
We are here. We've got Ricky Bolton from the Black Baldy Extreme Dirt Series, mate. All the planning, everything, it's all coming to fruition.
Yeah, it is. It's been a lot of work by Josh and Campbell and myself, and our wives have been outstanding, and Mum. And the concept looks good. Look at the field of cars. Great field of cars. Blimps flying in there. Everyone's in the shirts and flags. The fans are loving it. The drivers are loving it. So, it's good. It's a good shot now for Speedway, isn't it? And the whole idea is for Super Saloons.
Yeah, so not just the Super Saloons as well, but this series is built around the entire team. You got more than just things happening out on the track there.
Yeah, we've got golf games. We've got a quiz night and dinner on Sunday night. We've got go-kart challenge in Nelson down at Tahuna. We've got everything happening for the family because Speedway is a family sport, and we recognise that often it's always about the driver, but we want the crew, and the crew actually are going to earn points for their driver. So they're going to earn 5 points for participating in these events and extra points for winning it. And that's 5 cars I've got to pass on the racetrack if my crew don't do well, So it's a bit of an incentive for them, and they're looking forward to it as well. That's what it's about.
Absolutely, it's good. Now we are getting around to more than just where we are here at Woodford Glen. So whether you're watching it on the live stream or going to the track lives, we're starting here at Woodford Glen, but where does this series take us?
Yeah, so obviously Woodford Glen here tomorrow night for the finale, and then we head to Greymouth on Tuesday for Greenstone Park. I think about a 5 o'clock start. Then we head to Blenheim on Friday, second longest track in the Southern Hemisphere, and then finish off in Nelson on Saturday. So going to be an awesome week.
Mate, it sounds absolutely brilliant, and we look forward to getting more information from you on this amazing series as it comes about. But congratulations to you and your team. I hope it's a good start.
Yeah, it is, and we would like to thank the pits, our round sponsors, Anderton Decorating, Port Hill Hire, Truck Hire, and obviously Black Baldy. So, and yeah, dirt track, all is. You guys have all got on board and got on behind it, and that's what we like.
Magic. Lovely. Thank you very much.
Craig Cardwell, mate. That first lap, interesting, but you won in the end. What happened in the first lap?
Master just caught tyres with the old goat. And then, we had a bad bent bottom arm there, so we're running a big toe in, so lucky to sort of get that one through, but we did.
Excellent, mate. Good start to the evening. What are the plans for the rest of the series? Obviously just winning, or are you going to create some more havoc?
Just still learning this game, so we're just out there to have some fun and get some laps behind this before we get to our NZ title in a few weeks' time. So, stay out of trouble and try not to get any more damage.
Perfect. Absolute pleasure to have you here, and no doubt we'll talk to you a bit later on in the series. Thank you.
Thanks very much, guys. Cheers. See ya.
Jason Brooks' car.
I was going to say the 17 car's not going to last that long, I don't think.
Well, there's definitely some smoke coming out of the front row here. The good thing is once you dump the clutch, the smoke all goes behind you, so it's not in front. But we have got the last car of Kyron Leonard Graham in. Bad enough we've got 3-digit numbers, but when we've got hyphenated surnames, it's going to get really awkward. As we watch the steam start to get greater and greater on the front row, and we're away. Thine ducks to the inside, and the 817 pushing the 16 out to the wall, and we're into turn one. Bolton ducks to that low line. Harley Rob's in there. He's dropped to the 96 car from Nelson, spun in front of the pack. Braden Lennon just collects a red light, and that's for the 97 car that did not start, and the brakes that do not work.
So it was only half a lap, but there was a fair bit going on in that half lap, wasn't there?
Well, there was. Not so much for the 97 car.
No. 77, you can go in front of 687. 17 cars, you can see there steaming, smoking away. Something's definitely not connected up right.
No.
97 cars got pushed to the infield.
The 77 car's been told to roll forward. So that goes to indicate how many cars rolled under the brakes. He passed, about 3 cars past him under the red. And as we go to the starter, we're away and racing. We look around the track, the 74 car isn't moving. It's only on the starter motor. He's going to have about half a lap before they're going to have to decide whether the red's going on. No, he has got moving. So that was the 43 of Bennell pulled to the infield. It is Thine, back to Rob, Bolton, Hadley Smith and Braden Lennon. You've got some fast bits of kit up the front there. And Bolton there just giving Rob the hurry up mid-corner. The 16 car limping up by the wall. As the 4 car of Lennon up the inside of Smith. And Wade Sweeting looking to join in. So it's almost like the Canterbury Crushers are having just a practice run in the front of the pack. Fair bit of smoke coming off that 17 car as he heads down the back straight. 16 car still limping up by the wall. The 77's hooked into the back of Bailey Clive, pushes him out to the wall, and the 53 goes through on both of them. Aris looking to join in. Bailey Clive up the inside of the tanker, but out in front it is Thine, back to Rob, Bolton, Lennon, Smith, and Sweeting. Real battle on for that.
Bolton hit the wall there coming out of turn 4, and that's allowed Braden Lennon to get past him down the front straight.
But certainly you look at the Bailey Clive having a go here with the 77 car. Is the 48 or the 5 car just running, they're dropping cylinders. The 214 circling slowly down along the low part of the track. Our race leader's about to come upon as the 817's to the infield. Matty Lee lets the race leaders go through. So the race is on between Rob and Thine. And the 214 of Matty Lee just in that bit of no man's land. Looking further back, Arwa Johns gives Brosnan a hurry up, and Dan McNally gives both of them the tubing going through Enviro-Waste.
We're going to see Harley Rob make a pass on the next lap.
Well, right now.
The next turn, in fact. There it is. Might have come back at him, though.
Yeah, Thine's car is quick. But as we look further back through the pack, good battles here. Awa Johns and Dan McNally. There's bumper going in there. Lawton gets in there and Johns goes around. Jason Brooks drives in, gives him a hongy. And Cam Dench gets backed into out of all of that. So Awa Johns just trying to refire the 56. Parked down there at 4. Our race leaders have gone through on him. So Harley Robb ducks up the inside of Thine. But Thine will come back at him. We've seen these two
we have
battle before, and I don't think Thine will save on him either. He'll give him the wee tickle up when he needs to. The 9 and the 45 having a wee bit of a battle there as Kahu in the 611 car joins in. Race leaders, they're about to come upon races that are in races. Bolton spun down at 4, everyone's just avoiding him. He manages to loop it round onto the infield. Does another spin on the infield just to see who's on the track.
Harley Robb's just got held up there fractionally. It's a loud fight. Goes back in.
Well, we've got 3 or 4 wide here, so it's almost... He's going to have to use the bumper just to get a bit of clear traffic. Awa John's given a tickle up down there at turn 4 by the 214 of Matty Lee. And Harley using the brakes big time there, keeping that car low on the track. He's trying to get underneath the 45 car of Matt Richards. White flag is out, and Thine's going to get him here if he's not careful. Thine's dive to the outside. He's still on the back bumper of Harley, but only just. And these back markers are making it interesting. Cam Dench just getting squeezed out wide there by Harley. Thine looks to come back. He is. He's going to stick the nose up, and this is he gets up underneath
Good driving by Thine. They're side by side.
And he backs out of it though. Harley Robb will take the win. Back to James Thine. Braden Lennon with the 151 of Wade Sweeting. That was getting really interesting with those guys dicing at the front.
Yeah,
the back markers keeping it pace too, which just made their jobs so much harder.
A good race there from that field of stock cars. Plenty of little nudges, touches and contact there. Nothing major, nothing hugely exciting, but plenty of action. I'm sure if you talk to any of those drivers post-race, they'll tell you that it was a bit lucky.
Your Harley Robb, their fastest lap, just literally just a sub 20 second lap out of that. Track is definitely a little bit slicker than what it was earlier this evening.
Anderton Decorators are a long-established Canterbury company covering the whole of the South Island who love to support their local community. If you require expert advice from design to application, then Shane has the expert team to ensure your next project is hassle-free with a professional finish. Floor to ceilings, walls to roof, inside, outside, commercial or residential. Let our team take the hassle out of your decorating. Give us a call now on 027 Painting. That's 027 724 6846. Anderton Decorators, we have you covered.
So remember, this is one of 6 group heats that these guys are racing tonight, and it's all about getting grid positions for the winner-takes-all final at the end of tomorrow evening, courtesy of Garage16 Media.
And of course, traditionally we go faster when we head around the track this way. We're on the lights, we're in the starter's hands. A little bit of creeping, but we're away. And it is Schumacher and Steve Peterson leading us down into Enviro Waste. Of course, the Enviro Waste, the Kaiapoi end of the track, the tighter part of it, and there's a little bit of bunching up mid-pack. 26 car all out of shape, but pulls back on. Out in front, it is Schumacher with Jenkins behind him and Steve Peterson in the Magan Turbo 28. They've already opened up a decent gap, but Don Garth, they're looking to make moves in the 33, and the 53 car of Perry Soper pulling to the infield, not completing the first lap. So it is Corey Schumacher in the Toyota Cressida. Heads in. He has got Ben Jenkins right behind him as Don Garthley gets all crossed up and actually backs the pack up out of turn 2. Sean Andrew takes over that 4th place spot.
Oh.
And we've lost a wheel. No, we haven't lost a wheel. We've lost an axle.
With the wheel and tyre attached.
Yes. Yeah. And it won't be hard to figure out which car it is.
Quite a smart wheel, actually.
The irony was I actually saw those wheels going over to be stamped earlier this evening, so at least we know the wheel was legit. It's at some point you'd have to realise that.
Ah, there we are. The Brogan.
So looks like the 8V car. It is our race leader. It is Schumacher with Jenkins. We are away and racing once again, and the battle's really on for that 4th place spot as Soper's just given Stewart the hurry up. Garthley's out of shape and he's just been given the flick to the infield. And Soper goes through on Sean Andrew. Red light. Still a red. And we're looking for something on the track.
11A has a flat inside front.
I don't think that is the issue. I think there's a large chunk of bumper sitting over there where the tractor is.
Yep, there is too. Well, something anyway. Is it bumper? Yeah. Looks like it. Been picked
Yeah,
up
it's a
now.
corner piece. And the 21 has been sent to the infield. He's the one missing the corner bumper. Yep, behind him Jenkins with the 28C of Steve Peterson. So nothing's really changed at that part. Lights are out. We're here on the referee screaming in our ears. We're going racing. When they decided the lights were going out, she was all on.
Yeah.
Matt Stewart's come through. He's come through on the 3NZ of Soper. And the 26 car of Pedley there looking to try and make some moves, but he's falling into the grass of Kyrgyzstan in the 86. Sean Andrew pulling to the infield on the 46 car. And Peterson has got through on Ben Jenkins. Out in front though, it is Schumacher. And he's got the wee Toyota absolutely humming. In fact, I'd say he's sitting that thing on the limiter and holding it there, judging by the noise it made when it went past us. Then we go back to Steve Peterson with Ben Jenkins, the 3NZ to Soper. It's going to be a real battle here for that 3rd place spot. Matt Stewart's got some pace to join in there as well. And we're just racing this one out by the looks of it. We've started lap 7. Fastest lap so far has actually been Steve Peterson on the 28 car. Running 2nd on the track. He's got the 11A to get past shortly of Corey Torito. He ducks up the inside. Torito tries to drop down to that pole line, but he just gives him the space. And you can hear Schumacher's car just running on the limiter as it gets to the end of the front straight here. Steve Peterson is catching him though. Ben Jenkins is slipping further back. And Matt Stewart just can't seem to shake Cody Pedley at the moment.
Schumacher's going to have to deal with 3 cars in front of him now, back markers.
And of course it isn't. Whether you win or lose these races, or whether you win these races, isn't actually crucially important. It's about finishing with decent points to get you through. Schumacher sticks the nose up the inside of the 37 car of Aaron Hart. Hart's giving him space, but I don't, just not quite. And Trent has moved up high too, so they can see local cars coming through, so they're making way, just getting out of everybody's path. And out in front, Schumacher. He's actually gapped a little bit on Steve Peterson. Ben Jenkins is coming through too. He's caught up with the 28 car as well. We have counting the laps down. The 11 car limping around on the pole line. Bit of smoke coming out the back of it. Steve Peterson's really under threat here from the 345 car. And yeah, the 11 car not turning at all when it got down to the Kaiapoi end of the track. Just drove straight out into the wall. And he's just going to try and limp himself to the infield. White flag is out for Schumacher. Peterson followed by Jenkins. Then we move further back to Soper and with a couple of back markers before we get to Matt Stewart. So our race leader heads through the Christchurch end of the track. The wide flowing corner So Corey Schumacher will take the win. Then we go back as we look very closely to the second place. It'll be Steve Peterson, followed by Ben Jenkins, and 3NZ Asopa. That was the first qualifying heat of the New Zealand Streetstock Grand Prix, courtesy of Garage16.
And as the points unfold through the course of the evening, we will bring you some updates. Fastest lap per there, a 20.91 by Steve Soper. So, yeah, a reasonably pedestrian sort of street stock race, really.
Yeah, we're going to see a wee bit of this. It's not going to be the carnage fest that I think people want in the early part of the night. And I think tomorrow with the Grand Prix,
might be different.
Yeah, you may have some circulating on the pole line. There are some guys that just don't want to fix their cars at the moment, though.
Yeah.
And so, talking to a couple of them after the New Zealand title, there was no need to wreck themselves, so why do it?
Absolutely. And, you know, a one-race final, which is how a Grand Prix should be, tomorrow night.
It is a Grand Prix.
It is a Grand Prix, isn't it? And,
Grand Prix racing is one race.
Anything can happen. So next up was scheduled to be the stock cars, but of course they had their race as earlier on in the night, race 2. So it's the Super Saloons Group B versus Group E, brought to us by the Blind Cleaner. And we can see them waiting in the chute at the moment as Corey Schumacher runs around with his checkered flag. Give him a round of applause. Raise a glass if you're at home.
There's one or two drivers in this group that have actually never raced here at Koken, Woodford, Glen, so they're going to get a bit of a shock when they get down to turn 3. How tight that corner tightens up as you come through. In fact, I heard one or two drivers talking in the pits, and certainly some drivers from the Mount taking some advice from one of the Flynns, and it was told very unequivocally, go out there and look at the track.
Yeah, it is a bit different to pretty much anything in the North Island.
It's going to be interesting. Of course, some of the cars have certainly done some laps around here when you look at the history of them. As the water truck will give it another scuff. First one who's going to be heading out the gate. Famous for many reasons in Speedway, but the 9W car. And if you look at some of the classic shots in the, particularly of New Zealand, the Super Saloon Champs, probably was the last one the second one that Tony Cardwell won down in Dunedin. Mark Pitcher's car, of course, was he was the one on fire, flipping the bird to the driver that spun him round.
The St. Nicholas is a familiar sight around Bluff as she steams out to capture Can-Do Fishing's famous Bluff Kinner. Once caught, the Kinner is brought back to the purpose-built factory in Bluff where it is processed, packed and shipped fresh to you. But that's not all that Can-Do Fishing can do for you. Try some of their green-boned fish or delicious power products and you will soon see why seafood from the Bluff is world famous. So head to your local fish market or supermarket and ask for Can-Do Fishing Kinner, fish or power. Can-Do Fishing, there's nothing we can't do for you.
So Pollock he was given the opportunity to take the 3-minute bell if he needed it, but for whatever reason he's chosen to park it.
So they're being told to maintain their pace. Lights are out, green flag's ready to wave. We're about to go racing the second heat of the Extreme Dirt Series, brought to us by the Baldy Cattle Company, and it's Edwards who gets the jump on Pitcher. Around the outside comes the 19 of Malcolm Nartai, making up some serious ground there through turn 2 and down the back straight. Tucked in behind him, the 49 of Abrahamson, under a bit of pressure on the inside from the 23 car there of Josh Verity. Just tucked in behind him is the 27 of Trevor Elliott, who runs a little wide there, allows Ricky Bolton to come through. No, he gets the drive out of turn 2 and gets back ahead of Bolton. Ray Stewart trying to get past Bolton as well, and at the moment the 59 car of Matt Green at the back of the field. So another lap ticked off for Edwards in the 6M machine. Malcolm Nartai in second place and looking menacing at this stage. Pitcher's just dropped a car a length or two back, still in third from the moment. Bodie Abrahamson in the 49 car, hanging on to the back of the 9W, but coming through quite strong, the 27 car of Trevor Elliott. So now Nartai gets the slingshot around the outside, pokes the nose in front of Edwards. These two are going to battle it out here. through 3 and 4. Down the front straight, Nartai makes the pass complete. Malcolm Nartai now on his way. Quickest lap of 17.8 set by Nartai, so probably that last lap I suspect. So it's Nartai from Edwards, a car length back to the 9 of Pitcher. Abrahamson, a couple of car lengths back to Trevor Elliott in the 27 5-inch contracting machine. He's under pressure from the 34 of Ray Stewart round the outside, looking to make the pass. If he gets the slingshot that Nartai did, it could be interesting. And he doesn't quite get the go forward there, though they're still side by side. And a few car lengths back to the 23 machine, Josh Verity in his second season in Super Saloon racing, with Ricky Bolton alongside him and Matt Green right on his tail. So 6 laps gone, 4 to go. Malcolm Nartai leading the race. He's a car length or 2 ahead of Gary Edwards. Strong battle for 3rd place at the moment as Ray Stewart's come through side by side with Mark Pitcher, and the Abrahamson and Elliott right on the back of Pitcher as well. You've got to throw a blanket over those 4 cars, and fighting out for 3rd place at the moment. That's where the action's going to be. Out front, Nartai's got the race by the scruff of the neck. I can't see Edwards relinquishing 2nd place easily. Stewart's got the better of that battle and is now on his own in 3rd. Trevor Elliott in 4th, Pitcher trying to hold off Abrahamson. So that was the 8th lap completed. We're just about to complete the 9th. Malcolm Nartai, cross start finish now, ticks it off into the white zone. He gets a bit of a push there coming through out of turn 1 and has to button off, but he's got enough of a cushion on Edwards to be able to absorb that and keep his lead. Checkered flags being unfurled, and it's going to be Malcolm Nartai who wins this heat from Gary Edwards, and a very rapid 34 Ray Stewart.
There was I never thought I would have said this, but it was one of those moments where patience got you to the front, and Malcolm Nartai showed the perfect patience, and not something you traditionally would have said about Malcolm. To be fair, Edwards, as soon as he saw Malcolm go past, just pulled into Malcolm's race line, and he just sat back and followed him. I think that was a great way to learn the track. The track went away big time there. These guys were doing 19-second laps at the end of it. Malcolm would do faster than that, or do that sort of lap in the Superstock, and it's got a fraction of the tyre. So, wasn't a fast race by any stretch. Watch the Ray Stewart and Trevor Elliott just move their way up through the field, and you could see just having a bit of experience on this track helps.
Absolutely. Ray Stewart in particular impressed me there. Very calm drive, carefully positioning his car to maximum effect lap after lap. It's good stuff. So great racing there from our Super Saloons. The second of the 9 heats that they're running tonight, brought to us by the Blind Cleaner.
As we look into the chute, the next group of street stocks will be out shortly.
Looks as though we've got it.
It looks like Dutchy.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if we had an interview lined up there or not, but...
So there are a few of our top saloon drivers that haven't headed to the New Zealand Saloon Champs, and I think that was one of them that's got caught in the camera.
Yeah.
Corey Schumacher, you won that first that street stock race of yours. Yeah. Tell us about that one.
Well, it was a better run than last week. Blew the gearbox 2 laps in, qualifying at Blenheim, so it's a bit of a bummer, so it's good to get a good result first up.
Speaking of last weekend, you did get a new gearbox. What happened the next day?
Yeah, so I found one on Marketplace in Blenheim, bought that, slapped it in because it rained out Saturday, race Sunday, recharge. Managed to get from dead last, grid 18, to second. Couldn't quite pull it off, but we still had fun.
That's excellent stuff, mate. And I understand that Woodford Glen have put on a decent track for you, street stocks tonight. They're focused on you guys. How is it actually feeling out there?
Yeah, they always do their best and have a good track for us. It's good, nice and drivey, smooth at the moment. Yeah.
Sweet, mate. And you had a perfect start to the GP, and I'm sure that you'll be wanting to have a heck of a better time than last weekend. Are you going for that top spot tonight? Is that realistic for you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Don't turn up, just come last. Give it a shot, but it's anyone's game.
Excellent. Awesome, Corey. It's Corey, not Chris Schumacher. Thanks very much, mate. We'll talk to you later on, no doubt. Thanks very much.
On the track at the moment, we have Group 2, the Pits Group, and Group 3, Kiwi Autospears. The Group 2 consists of 1NZ Paul Leslie, 6G Cody Gooch, 31V Simon Bland, 35C John O'Garthley, 39D Bailey Gillum, 54C Kirk Aldridge, 71N Josh Atkinson, 94D Jacob Campbell, 98C Chris Miles, who did actually, I think, return 4 NZ, not that that's a position, but he was 4th of the title. 428 Brooke Peterson and 634 Adam Stewart. The Kiwi Auto Group will be 2 NZ of Mike Jones, 9W of Aaron Wilton, 11N of Cody McCarrison, 36C of Alan Aitchison, 41C Stephen Fleming, 44D Andrew Keach, 56B Glenn Shepherd, 62C Dave McSherry, 93E Jordan O'Connell Inns, 118D Alan Finch, and 315 Scott Palmer. We've actually got quite a few former 1NZs in there when you start going through that group.
When you start looking at it.
Green is in the starters' hands. We're up in the air. And
away we go.
We are, and it looks like Inns' car just launched away there. But Alan Aitchison just launched up the inside and gave him a fairly good wallop. The 94 car there spat out the back of Jacob Campbell, and the 11 car of McCarrison spun. So we're down there, and the 36, he was determined to get through there, but out of all of that, across the start-finish line, it is the 94 of Inns, followed by the 118 of Alan Finch.
One on the infield there. No, he's rejoining at the back of the field. That's the 634, Adam Stewart.
John O'Garthley looking to make the move here. Aitchison in the 36 car is, well, he's all over the place, but he's fast. Oh, he just about dug in. He's going into the sign. Oh, he got the tow truck too. So, out of all of that, although, yeah, no, he got the tow truck. There's no question there.
Yep.
And we won't be pushing much with that tonight. Out in front, though, it is John O'Garthley, followed by Finch. And then the 1NZ of Leslie. Oh, the work we're going to have to do overnight. The 56 car going to the wall, and he ends up taking Gooch in for Gooch is just stuck in there. There's nothing he can do. It wasn't like the guy was trying to take him out either. Backs out of it. The 634D car. This is a bit more aggressive, this race.
Yeah, there is, isn't it?
Oh, tyre off. It's gone straight over the front of the 1NZ. So I don't know who's cut that come off. Oh no, it's come off the 36 car. He's just going to get spun out of the way by the 1NZ for his efforts. Yeah, you can see the diff tramping big time. So as the 94 car tries to lay in, the tyre's just getting just got collected there by the 118 down the front. It's just the tube, fortunately, down the front straight. Red lights on. Well, that started with a little bit more pace than I thought it would, Tony.
Bit of a hiss and a roar there, yeah. Not just pace, but action too. Plenty of contact. Some of it deliberate, most of it not.
Well, Mike Jones has done a 20.84, so put that into context. He's only a second off what the Super Saloons were doing in that last race.
The end of their last race, yeah.
But the 36 car there of Alan Aitchison, I thought he was going over big time. He was driving at the ragged edge, and he's lost the tyre off the back of the 36. And that poor tow truck. So actually, that's a point, because we do want to replace some of our infield gear. We don't necessarily want to wreck it before we replace it. So
you might have a valid insurance claim there.
If there's anybody watching out there that has a small 3-ton Japanese truck they want to dispose of, feel free to contact us here at Woodford Glen. We don't want to lose them that way.
No.
And they've removed the 36 car to the infield. Our race leader is over ratio under the MDS sign over the far side there by the grandstand. And in the starter's hands, we wait for the green. We are back racing. Dave McSherry over the back straight gets a good start, gets through on Bland, as our race leader just swerves to avoid the 634 car of Adam Stewart down the front straight. Back to Finch. There's no real need at this point to start panicking. We've already got cars that are starting to drop out of the race. Just get those points. Paul Leslie's out to the wall. Just wondering if he's lost the tyre on the 1NZ car.
lost a lot of places, that's for
He's
sure.
lost a heap. He's just limping it now. He's limping it to the infield here. Well, the expression we've used many a time is some days you're the bat, some days you're the ball. And well, last week he certainly was the bat. Flat outside front tyre, so he was in a bit of a quandary there. He had to pull to the infield. Our race leader, though, it is car 35 of John O'Garthley. And he's getting into the back markers now. He's gone through on the 41 car. He's about to go through on McCarrison down at EnviroWaste. But McCarrison gets really crossed up there. And he goes through on Gooch as well. Of course, Gooch in the 6G car got caught up in the incident down the front straight. At 6:34, oh, the 94 car's done the big donut right in front of the 315 of Scott Palmer. Garthley just about tubed him. Brooke Peterson just spun round on the front straight. She's back to rejoin as our race leader heads onto the front straight. He's on the outside of the 315 car. Second place is Finch and the Anderton Decorators, 118. Further back to, I'm picking at Simon Bland running third at the moment. As we heads off EnviroWaste once again, the white flag's in Brian's hands. It'll get waved to Garthley. He's just got to keep it composed, keep the BA Falcon out of anyone's trouble. Well, there's something flailing up in the air down the front here. Piece of tyre. As our race leaders past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand into EnviroWaste once again. He's got the 35 cars crossed up. He straightened him up. Well, sorry, the 39 car of Bailey Gillum, and the race win's gone to John O'Garthley, followed by Alan Finch, and then the 31V of Simon Bland.
Well, that was a fairly full-on race.
It certainly had a heck of a lot more action in it than what we thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be a lot tamer than that.
Yeah.
What we can say is there's chunks of rubber stuck in our track around the place.
And a fair few, well, not that many, but what, 4 cars on the infield out of that lot. So some retirees, including the 1NZ, Paul Leslie there. Not sure if they get any points for not finishing.
No, I don't think you do. And
so it's not the end of the world.
And
but
a tow truck that is now only a tow truck, not a push truck anymore.
So good stuff from the Garage16 New Zealand Streetstock GP heat there. You're watching night 1 here at Koken, Woodford, Glen, or on the live stream courtesy of the Pits TV, wherever you are around New Zealand or wherever you are around the world. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you're enjoying the action. We're going to pay some bills and play some ads. We'll be back very, very short.
Technical Welding Services Hamilton are specialists in the transit concrete mixer industry. From chassis drop-off to a full working concrete mixing, the team will take care of the job from start to finish. Full engineering services and general sheet metal work can also be undertaken. Need a quote? Call 07 847 2031 or visit our website www.techweld.nz. Technical Welding Services Hamilton, we are the experts.
It's action for the whole family. With 23 tracks around New Zealand, there is no better way to spend your weekends than at a Speedway New Zealand track.
Here they come to the start-finish line again.
There's something for the whole family. Sprint cars, saloons, stock cars, sidecars, midgets, and much, much more. Pack up the family and make a trip to adrenaline-filled, action-packed bashes and crashes that only Speedway can deliver. Visit www.speedway.co.nz to find out the track nearest to you. Speedway, it's our summer thing.
Malcolm Ngatai, that was an excellent start to the Black Baldy Cattle Company Extreme Dirt Series. How did it feel out there for you tonight?
Yeah, it was good. That was a bit of a mouthful for you, wasn't it? Yeah, no, it was good. I was sort of looked at the grid and I thought if I could stay where I was, I'd be happy. And then I seen those boys were struggling for the track a wee bit, so I didn't wait around any longer. I sort of got the hell out of there. So, yeah, it was a good drive.
Yeah, and I understand, is this your only the second season in this car?
Yeah, I've sort of just done a full season, yeah. So, yep, no, it's going good.
And you were pretty excited to get it, weren't you? And how's it feeling now?
It's feels pretty good, I suppose. Suppose I'll deserve a beer later, so I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, and how about this series, mate? We've spoken to you a few times with Garage16 and put some stuff in the NZ Dirt Track Racing magazine, and you're pretty keen on putting the crew in the spotlight whenever you can because you understand how important they are. And this is sort of what this series represents. What are your feelings on that?
Well, without the crew, we don't race, so they're probably more important than us. And when you can go and give them a win and the smiles on their faces, you know you've done your job. So I've done my job, I'm happy, they'll leave me alone for the night.
And you're going to have a great week ahead and have a good time?
Yeah, most people have heard I'm doing the first free, and Mark Osborne's going to jump in and do Blenheim and Nelson. So he's going to teach the boys a few lessons as well. So between Mark's feedback, we're going to really look forward to what we get out of it.
Perfect. And where are you going to be on those on next weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to go and support Sonia Hickey at the Rotorua 240s. I've done it for years. It's a hard game, 130 cars, 4 through, very hard game. So I quite enjoy a bit of pressure.
Beautiful, mate. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and no doubt we're going to talk to you a lot more over the next week.
Hopefully, yeah.
Thanks, Malcolm.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
So that was Malcolm Nartai down in the pits there.
As we have our Super Saloons back out on the track. Front row. This is going to be interesting because third generation Flynn out on Koken, Woodford, Glen, and it's his I think it's Jacob's first run actually at Woodford, Glen.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing him race here before. Of course, his father Grant raced here many times, and his granddad Mike as well, I think, too.
Yep, and this is Grant's car. Of course, there is rumoured to be another chassis sitting in their shed.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of something that looks like a chassis, but whether or not we'll see if it has daylight. Of course, one of the bugbears the Flynns always had when they came to Woodford Glen is that they always had to change their number.
Yes.
And so on the outside of the 6 car is the other 6 car, which is the Dennis Bolt racing car, which is in the hands of Kane Lawson. Then we go back to Jackson Lovelady in the 17C. Had a few more stickers thrown at the car since the last time we saw it. Was blue, now pink, sort of a high-vis
black
orange.
With high-vis, yep.
And then on the outside, now this car I'm keen to see. It is Sam Waddell.
Yes.
In the ex-Mick Quinn 4-bar car.
Yes.
And of course, Sam won his New Zealand title here in a Hypermac, very similar to, I'm just trying to see if there's even one out there that's similar, of the same generation of it. It's very similar to the car that Trevor Elliott was running tonight. But he has made the switch to this car. Now, this car we've seen here before in the hands of Mick Quinn. It did look a bit different. But I'm really curious to see what the Waddells do with it. Then we go back to the 27 car of Joe Ingram. We've seen him before here. He's, of course, one of the first people to pick up on the Stealth chassis.
Yes.
Chaz Roda in the 33. Then we go back to the 58 car. Well, we know that car around here, Richie Taylor. To the outside of him, the other 58. This is a photographer's dream, isn't it? It is Peter Beakston. Of course, you'll hear all about this has been the retirement grade for Superstock drivers. Well, he's slowly retiring. Then we have the 88 of Dave Manera. To the outside of him, Steve Walling, and the last car on the track, the 86 of Hayden Mackay. I'm really curious to see how Walling goes here. Of course, he's run saloons and sprint cars previously.
Yes.
And I believe he has a race truck sitting at home. So quite the contrast, but probably the coolest tow vehicle on the pits too. So second coolest after the TRX that Mark Pitcher's got.
So Mr. Excitement and Dave Manera near the back of the field. And the other Mr. Excitement I'd describe as in this field, right at the back as well, the 86 of Hayden Mackay.
Oh, if someone's going to run into a car, it'll be his car they run into.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. The New Zealand title here a couple of seasons ago, the amount of people that ran into him, as we look to Enviro Tony.
And away we go with the next heat of the Extreme Dirt Series. Flynn and Lawson battling off the front, and we've got one on the infield already. That's Bankston. Didn't see how that happened. He just appeared in my peripheral vision, and is he able to rejoin the back of the field? Not sure. But the rest of the field is racing away. Oh, we've got one round there.
Yeah, Waddell's gone. Which I think, given that wasn't one lap completed, will reset the pack. Good grief, we were trying to go 3. Oh. Back end of the 86 car, looks like it's rolled the bird cages, isn't it?
Yep.
Certainly got the back end of it climbing up in the air.
Not for the first time this season from memory either.
Well, normally it's an unfortunate feature of some of the earlier Lovelady chassis, but yeah, this will go to a complete restart, I'm picking. We didn't complete a lap.
So it'll be interesting to see what the Pits TV replays picked up there as to. And actually, no, it would have been interesting, but that's not going to happen because of technical difficulties.
Mackay's actually going to need to pull out, otherwise he's going to have a right rear. It won't delaminate, it'll explode. Yep, so we go back to original grid positions.
So Bengtson is firmly stuck on the infield there. I say stuck is some issue. The car won't go.
I suspect whatever happened to Mackay was due to an incident because Bengtson was on the outside of Taylor.
Yes.
Walling can now see a little bit of a gap in front of him. He's just, but they're going to put Waddell to the back. Cause of the yellow, which is fair enough in the context. But really, Mackay's car, something has bent or broken in the back of it. Unless he wants to limp around for points, but at speed, that's going to be a handful. And we're back in the starter's hands, so they've put the 18 to the back. He did go around, I'd say he's just pinched the brake on himself. It went round very quickly.
I think we noticed that when Mick Quinn was driving it here a couple of seasons ago. Anyway, second time lucky maybe as Flynn and Lawson battle again, and again Lawson just gets the nose in front into turn one, almost 3 wide there as the 17 car of Jackson Lovelady joins that battle, and again contact at the back of the field, Waddell and Mackay, but they both got going again. Out the front, it's tight, but Lawson leads from Flynn with Lovelady tucked right in the back there. The 27 car of Joe Ingram is joining the pack as well, and those four have got a couple of car links over Richie Taylor, Chase Rodder and the 99 machine of Walling. Go back to Manera, car length back, a couple more car links to the back of the field with where Waddell and the somewhat crippled car of 86 Hayden Mackay are doing their best to stay with the rest of the pack. To be fair, Waddell actually making a good fist of that. Well, he was
Manera moved up on him.
Until Manera moved up. Okay, so out front, it's side-by-side action between Jacob Flynn and the ex-Grant Flynn car and Kane Lawson. 6 and 6. Oh, no way through for the 17 of Lovelady, and I'd have to say the 27 of Ingram's looking pretty racy and wanting to find a way past those three as well. And joining that battle is the 58 of Richie Taylor. It's tight at the top, 5 cars battling for the top 5 places and nothing between them. Waddell's come through from the back of the pack, finding a little bit of space, a little bit of fresh air, suits that 18 car from the mount. Chase Rodder trying to stay with him and Walling as well. Manera and Mackay battling at the back of the field. So that's 5 laps down now, and Jacob Flynn just seems to have got the better of the battle with Kane Lawson. Round the outside comes Lovelady, finally got a bit of space, the opportunity to stretch the legs of that Ford-powered car. He's now moving up around the outside of Lawson. Ingram stuck firmly on the pole line there, no way through, and Waddell has taken advantage, moved past the outside of Ingram and is now right on the back of Lovelady. I think pretty clear that Waddell's got the quickest car at this point of the race, but can he do anything more further with it? He's already moved it up to 4th place from the back of the field on that restart. Lawson, a bit more of a tricky customer, but Waddell brakes late, goes in deep. Can he make that work? He kind of has. He's half in front of Lawson. The battle at the front's a good one, a keen one between Flynn and Lovelady. The 2 young fellas absolutely going for it. And now Waddell in a clear 3rd place is going to join them. Waddell's been quickest on the track, I think, over the course of the race, but he's got 1 lap left to try and do something. We're in the white zone. Lovelady up the inside, Flynn on the outside. Waddell looking to thread the needle through the middle. There's no room there. Lovelady's got the nose in front. Flynn's going to have to take the high line around. Puts it in hard and half spins, and the rest of the pack come back in half spin or slow up in sympathy, and that allowed Lovelady through.
He parked it there, so do we go back a lap or do we finish under the checker? I think in the context we're going to finish under the
checkered flag was
I know they've been told to stay out. So Flynn there crossed it right. It's not quite as far as Murray Gorge got around the corner before he did it years ago.
No,
but Richie Taylor nowhere to go.
You can see what happened there. Flynn around the outside had to go in quite high and quite deep.
Race is not finished. They've got one lap to complete, so it'll be, I'm guessing, a green-white. Mackay's car is looking so beaten up, and it hasn't even really raced. Interesting to watch Flynn. Now, I don't know what motor he's got on that car, but if it is the same as what they raced when his father and uncle raced here in the New Zealand title, they were running 358s back then. This track you don't need a lot of horsepower right now.
No, you need a delicate right foot.
Very long throttle. So they are going to restart it, but I don't know if it's Richie Taylor will be allowed to rejoin.
Clear, guys. Race has been declared.
Race has been declared. Okay, so she's done. So the race win there will presumably go to Jackson Lovelady.
Yep.
And then pretty good fight back, to be fair, there by Sam Waddell.
A very good fight back, very impressive. The car looking slightly second hand, but
I think there was every effort to run into the front of Sam, and I don't mean that facetiously. He would pull up beside a car, then move over on him.
So checkered flag there being taken round by Jackson Lovelady. He'll be thrilled with that. Absolutely thrilled. A very high quality field of cars, and he made that stick, made that count.
Hey mate, that was a great race last time. Winner of the first race for you tonight of the Streetstocks, mate, which I'm having trouble getting the words out. But Garth, hey, how was that, mate? How'd you feel out there?
Oh, it was good, mate. After last weekend, had a bit of bad luck. It was just good to get some seat time and keep the wheels on it and win another race. So I was quite happy with that, bud.
Now we keep talking about last weekend because it was New Zealand Streetstock title, which is unavoidable. So it wasn't good for you, huh?
No, we ended up having a bit of bad luck with it. Shit flat wheel, outside flat tyre rule. But apart from that, mate, it was a bit of fun, and we mixed it up with the Nelson Dunedin boys in the Repcharge. So.
Sweet, mate. It looked like you had a pretty, I wouldn't say easy time out there in the first race, but you definitely showed your talent out there. Is that usual for you? You pretty happy with how you're going?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. I found the track a bit slick actually, so you couldn't really deliver the power, but it was definitely getting, as I was coming through the back markers, getting a bit messier. So, but no, it was a pretty reasonable run anyway, so I was happy with it anyway. So,
now I'm sure with a few of those Super Saloons going over it a bit more, you'll have a track that suits you just fine. Have you got anything that you'd like to say to your many fans watching live right now? No pressure.
Hey, look, I just really want to thank my sponsors. Without them, it wouldn't be possible to do day in, day out what we love. And, I really want to thank Woodford Glen for putting on another good meeting. And, just everyone doing it, fixing it. So it's good fun.
Awesome, mate. John O'Garthley, thanks very much for the chat, and no doubt we'll see you a bit later.
Sounds good, mate. Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Well, it's this race brought to us courtesy of a Muri net, but yeah, it is the first round of racing, but of course it's kind of all higgledy-piggledy because of the way the format is run tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, the 91 cars. Oh, he's going to put himself on the wall. No, he's going to cross up in front of the pack. Beautifully done. Boom, 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 boom. I tell you what, if we've got a car still coming, you can come back around and have another swat and see if you can drive into this pack. Well.
Okay, we're here in the pits, and the last heat was a little bit interesting. Jackson, you crossed the line first, but you got dragged up.
Yeah, we got dragged up. We're not quite sure, but apparently, even though the race didn't finish, we got done for gaining an advantage on the pole line there on the last lap, which has been uncounted. So now, I think we're back in third position from a win, which is a bit of a disappointment, but it is what it is. We'll move on to the next one. I think old Sam over here, who was in there, has now picked up the win as well, so that's pretty awesome.
Okay, so moving over to Sam, first, second or third, mate, that was an interesting race for you. You had to come back through the pack.
Yeah, for sure. We're still learning a lot with this car. We haven't done any running up at home. It's been raining all the time, so we were a bit loose there, and we got sent to the rear for spinning out, which is fair enough, and managed to get up. And like Jackson said, I thought I finished second in that one, but yeah, I haven't heard officially, but it turns out we won, so hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, well, that's not too bad a start, and all the way down here at Woodford Glen. What's that track out there like? They thought it might slick up pretty badly pretty early. Has it got any grip in it?
Yeah, it's pretty slick, pretty early. Yeah, for sure. I've never seen this track particularly slick up that fast, but hey, we're all out there racing on the same track.
Absolutely, and this series, something pretty damn cool to be involved in, right?
Oh, for sure. And like for us North Islanders, we love coming down and racing down here in the South Island. It's cool experience, different tracks for us, and looking forward to the rest of the week. Got some cool activities planned, and can't thank Ricky and Josh and Campbell and whatnot for putting on the series, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, and bring on that official North versus South next week, eh?
Yeah, that'll get some boys talking.
Thanks, Sam. I hope the rest of your night goes well. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you.
As our productions head around, it is the 99 of Nick Fraser out in front, followed by Phileas and the 17 of Vaughan Fairbairn. We've had one car lose its bonnet midway through that race as we were in the middle of the interviews, and the 91 car retiring to the infield. Just can't get the head round keeping that car in a straight line in this race. No. But it is the 99 of Nick Fraser back to David Phileas. Vaughan Fairbairn on the outside. He's trying to build up momentum and run around that outside line on the Honda, but so equal in pace, the two cars. It is very much Nick Fraser's race to bring this one home as he crosses the start-finish line once again. Fairbairn he's got the track position on the 68 car. Long way round turns 1 and 2 as they head past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand into the sunshine. And this gets a bit of a fun moment, especially the Super Saloons as the evening goes on, as they head into turn 3. The sun just getting that little bit of sunstrike as you turn the car in.
Yeah.
Not that we can excuse that as an excuse for any of the incidents in the front straight
which is fully in shadow. Yeah.
Yeah, completely in the dark. In front though, it is the 99 car of Nick Fraser. He will head through Enviro gets a little crossed up, but straightens it out. White flag. Then back to Vaughan Fairbairn. So Formula Honda at the front at the moment. Battle here between the 803 of James Woods and the 78 of Stephen Palmer. Fairbairn's coming on quick to the 99, but it looks like Nick Fraser's done enough. He will take the checkered flag as he comes off Enviro Waste. Vaughan Fairbairn followed by David Phileas. And what we can tell you, race fans, for those of you watching at home on the stream, is the drivers that were involved in that incident at the start of this race have all got out and walked away from their cars. To be fair, some of them didn't look back for good reason.
Yeah,
and,
true.
But they're all in an okay condition for wrecking a couple of production saloons. We can also tell you that Ian Clark's car, for what we saw, the front end was munted. Actually, the car sustained more rear end damage and compressed the left rear corner and actually spat the left rear wheel out. But that'll be because he got hit from behind and then that car got collected from behind again. So lots of damage in that race, but we did make a wee bit of a marathon of it. If you're a street stock driver, of course, and it is your qualifying night for New Zealand Grand Prix, and you struggled in that first race, you're going to love the fact the productions took their time.
Yeah, it's going to help hugely, isn't it, in terms of repairs and welding and use of the heavy hammer and all that sort of carry-on that street stock crews are renowned for.
Yeah, and we don't have a loading dock to run the cars into to straighten the bumpers up anymore. So,
so there's your winner of the race, Nick Fraser in the 99 Production Saloon.
As we look to the chute, race 9, brought to us courtesy of Challenge Waimak, will be the Super Saloons. Another grouping. These guys have to go on and smack them on the side of their helmets to wake some of them up. They've been sitting out there for a wee while.
We Reuse IT should be your first port of call when you need help with your PC, laptop or tablet. Whether it be a fault with your machine or a warrant of fitness checkover, the team understand just how important it is to lessen your downtime. And if your old machine cannot be repaired, We Reuse IT have huge stock of refurbished or new PCs, Macs, tablets, printers, screens and much more. Visit them in store today at 135 Cuba Street, Palmerston North, or head to their website at www.wereuseit.co.nz.
That'll be interesting. Of course, Craig was contracted to Koken, Woodford, Glen this season. As we look there, the front row will be Malcolm Nartai with Benji Sneeden in the second position. Second row will be Ray Stewart with Matt Green on the outside of him. Then Josh Bolton with Cardwell to the outside. Greg Johnson in the 77T will be beside Steve Cowling. And Edwards in the 6M will have Ricardo Bolton in the 861 beside him.
Super Stocks, 2 Super Saloons.
Yeah, it's the retirement grade for Superstock drivers.
Yeah,
I've been saying it for years, and people look at me, and I know that some of the established firm of Super Saloon drivers get a bit offended by that, but just have a look at where your growth is coming from.
Yeah, it really is. It seriously is.
And the funny thing is you get these drivers, the Superstock drivers that jump into these, and they can't be intimidated. You know, years ago, Tony Cardle would sort of thread the needle and feed you a right rear, and you'd back out of it. You feed one of these guys a right rear, they go, "Oh, come on, give us a nudge on."
Yeah.
Don't feel it when you hit us on one of these things. Look at how pedestrian, Tony.
What a slow start. I don't know how Malcolm managed that, but there we go. Malcolm Nartai and Benji Snedden off the front. Nartai pokes the nose in front, but Snedden might get the slingshot out of 2 here. Oh, Nartai chops him off nicely. Carball into the back of the 59 of Green. Backs out of it, though. No one's the worse for that, I don't think. Ray Stewart there pokes the back of that car out fairly early in turn 4, but gets away with it. So out front, it's Malcolm Nartai leading Snedden. Matt Green having a good run in that 59 car. 4th place at the moment. A battle between Stewart and Cardwell. Then we go back to the 37 machine of Steve Cowling, starting to make some progress.
No, we're going under yellow.
What's happened here?
Edwards' car parked on almost on the pole line down here.
So I didn't see that. Not sure what caused him to pull in.
Of course, Benji, being a former Superstock driver as well, I think he and Malcolm would have playing a game of horse.
Yeah.
So we've lost Edwards out of that one, unfortunately. Nartai is in control. I was about to say, I don't think he's going to be as pedestrian as the start was, but you would.
Don't know.
Pollock sitting at the back there just to get some laps in. Nartai takes him high. He will turn and apex the corner. He does. We are racing, Tony.
Away we go again. Malcolm Nartai leading Benji Snedden with Matt Green holding on to 3rd. Immediately Ray Stewart tucks to the inside line there. It's where he likes to be. Cardwell prefers to be high and wide, and that's where he's going as well, following Green in. Bit of contact again between Cardwell and Green. And again, both drivers get away with it. So another lap completed for Malcolm Nartai. You can see the rear of that stealth chassis working hard through turns 1 and 2 on this slightly dusty surface. Snedden comes in quite hot under brakes there, has to haul it up in the middle of turn 3. And Malcolm Nartai at the moment in control. Ray Stewart looking solid in 3rd place there. Matt Green and Craig Cardwell having quite a battle for 4th. I can't see this one. Oh, there we go again. Cardwell just almost chops the front off Green's car. Green has to pull out. Steve Cowling coming through quite strongly now as well. And at the back of the field, Johnston, Josh Bolton and Ricky Bolton battling it out. So down the back straight, past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand goes Malcolm Nartai. Benji Snedden not giving up on this one. Right on the back of Nartai's stealth car. And coming down the front straight, there's very little between them. They've opened up 4 or 5 car lengths over the 34 of Ray Stewart, who's a car length or 2 ahead of Craig Cardwell, who's got past Green. A little bit of bodywork flapping off the back of Green's car there. It's about to detach itself any moment, I think. Steve Cowling in the 37 car, holding station at the moment from Greg Johnson in the 77. And at the back of the field, it's the battle of the Boltons. So out front, Snedden and...
He stuck the nose up the inside of Nartai, and Nartai just found the accelerator pedal. Malcolm's trying to drive conservatively here.
Yes.
But once he got a bit of competition, that went out the window.
So it's a good battle for the lead of this race. Snedden around the outside, Nartai on the inside. Both cars tiptoeing through 1 and 2 really. There's not a lot of grip there, and Snedden's found some grip on the outside of 2 and down the back straight to take over the lead, but the car just goes sideways out of turn 3, and Malcolm Nartai gets his nose back in front again. It's neck and neck. There's just nothing between them. Each of them is fast in one part of the track but not in the whole lap. So again, Snedden gets ahead coming out of 2. He's got to get down lower this time. He does that, but again his car washes out wide, but this time he's got enough on Nartai. It's a white flag time. So Malcolm Nartai's got to decide now, is he going to go for it, or is he going to settle for 2nd place and consider that a job well done on a dusty track? And several car lengths back to the 34 of Stewart. So Snedden's worked hard here in this race. Very, very pedestrian coming out of turn 4, but he takes the win from Nartai, Stewart, Cardwell, Johnson, who got ahead of Steve Cowling.
Well, yeah, our lap times have fallen out the window, to be fair, Tony.
Yeah.
The fastest lap was Malcolm Nato on 18.9, but most of those cars doing 19.5-second laps. Good run for the 8K car there. He never gave up and just fought back right at the very end to take the race win. I honestly would have thought Malcolm would have driven away with that one.
Yeah, I did too. But good driving by Snedden. And big thank you to Challenge Wymack for bringing us that race as well.
As the stock cars are in the chute for this next group, actually, isn't it? It's not actually a second heat, it's a next group coming out for qualifying.
Well, they're all in together, aren't they? So it is a...
No. There's other groups. It's definitely a mixture.
Okay.
As the water truck comes out, I think she's too far gone to do much to the rest of the track for that. She's slicked up like you wouldn't believe. So, front row of the grid. Kahu Agnew with Luke Malloy. Then anyone's race after that. Last car is 97. Leonard Graham will join in at the back. Clerk of the course has given the signal. We're out of the way. We're in the starter's hands. We're away and racing. Duck to the inside of Agnew, but Agnew actually leads us into turn one. He's got given the big push there by the 53.
Oh, 5-2-1 goes round.
Does it?
Straightened
straightened up by Jason Brooks. Everybody's pushing and shoving. The two tanks at the front go down under brakes into Enviro Waste. Agnew's tried to hang on to it. It's chaos for that around that mid-pack. Out in front though, it is Agnew with Wildly. We're 5 wide down the front straight. Troy Cleveland there is on the front of Harley Robb's bumper. Harley Robb's just going to keep pushing him. He's got the freight train there. He might as well just use the power of everybody behind him. Harley Robb fell back of the pack though. Out in front though, the battle is still between the two tanks. I think Brosnahan's joined in. Oh, the 136 McPherson gets spun around.
Harley Robb got turned there too.
He's got Braden Lennon parked on the front of him, hasn't he?
Could be. Yes, he does.
So they're going to try and untangle each other. I'd say there's going to be a fair few donuts in a minute down there with those guys. And our race leaders have gone through. It's actually still Kahu Agnew there with Chris Wildley. Jason Brooks in the 71 looking to move through. Braden Lennon and Harley Robb managed to break through. Harley's got a flat tyre, but it's only on that inside tyre, so that's fortunate. He'll be able to limp round and bring that home. And Brado, he'll be wanting to get some points. In fact, Harley's ploughing the track with the front of the car. And Cleveland's up underneath him. Our race leaders. It is Chris Wildley in the 53 tank.
More cars round to turn 4.
Oh, a lot of cars getting in. Braden Lennon's gone round. He got given the tap by Troy Cleveland. Well, that's it. Oh, there's 621 back down. Our race leader's been spun as well. Out of all of that, Jason Brooks is actually going to be the race leader, but he's got, don't look in your mirrors, it is Jay Holdham and Wade Sweeting in there. So the 621, he did the big spin round and back straight into the 11T car. Brosnahan in the 606 has gone to this is chaos out there. I think
absolutely. Another one gone round to turn 4.
It's Matty Lee gone round. The track is so slick, they're overdriving it. You've actually got to drive on the brake to about the midway point and don't get on the gas too early. But Brooks it is Jay Holton followed by Wade Sweeting. Phillips and the 5 cars parked in the wall. Well, this will be memorable for all the wrong reasons, this race, but for a couple of drivers. Sweeting back from Holton. And Brooks sitting back there, then to Alex Rondell. Rondell's getting good points out of this race. He started right off the back. But our race leader, it is the 317 of Huggies. Just got to keep your composure. Got to go to mini stock mindset. You can't drive it like a super stock. And 214 goes around again. It's just going in hard, pinching that rear brake, and they just go round on you. White flag is out for Holton. Matty Lee just backing the car down the front straight because it's probably easier than trying to turn in front of this. Harley Robb still circulating. You know where he's been because he's trying to resurface the track for us. As we head through Enviro Waste, it is Holton to Sweeting. Luke Malloy spins, but it doesn't affect the race leader. 317 will take the win, followed by the 151 and the 95 of Rondell. And I think some people are going to go change some tyre pressures.
Yeah, there's some big names there who have suffered as a result of largely other people's misfortune, I guess, in that race, though. Holcomb takes the win. Wade Sweeting ended up with the fastest lap of 20.76 right at the beginning of the race, but most of those last laps were in the mid to high 21s, so not a quick race by any stretch of the imagination. Harley Robb finished 22nd there.
The old flat tyre rule on the outside just about came into effect. Probably the second most contentious tyre rule in stock car racing at the moment.
Who Agnew a very creditable sixth place there after starting off the front, whilst all the chaos reigned behind him, and Braden Lennon made it up to 20th in the end. So some, as I say, some significant names that you would pick being near the front of that field fell back, and they've got some work to do, no doubt about it.
Yeah, well, of course it's about accumulating points, and you don't do it from the back of the pack. And I'm just looking at the 521, lucky to finish that race, and to be fairness, the flat right front tyre just coming in the last lap.
So there's Jay Huggies Holtham in the 317 car, going around with his checkered flag. Give him a round of applause. Good result in a difficult race in difficult conditions.
As we wait for the next Streetstock race to come out, we'll head down to the pits to the team down there.
Okay, so we are here with the 8K Benji's in, out of a sprint car, into a Super Saloon for the Extreme Dirt Series, and you're going win. Not bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. We got the checker in that, so that was heat 2 for us, and we're pretty happy with it. Started off grid 2, but a win's a win, so we're pretty happy.
Yeah, mate, she looks pretty damn slick out there, sort of stick to your line stuff, but you managed to get yourself around Malcolm Narlow, which was no mean feat.
I tell you, it's not as scary as when we're in the Superstock, so I definitely felt like, all right, you can make the move, so jump on the high line. He sort of left it open, and it was good.
Yep. Now, this is obviously all about the Extreme Dirt Series, but I got to ask, what's it like being out on the track with the GOAT in the sprint car, Shane Van Gisbergen?
Oh, yeah, that is mean. That's badass. I was, super pumped just to be racing with such a professional motorsport racer, I mean, we all look up to him, and watching him on TV, seeing him win Bathurst, it was actually a really cool feeling to go out the same gate and be racing with Shane, so that was cool.
Sweet. Now, are we going to see the 8K at all the rounds for this Extreme Dirt Series?
Yeah, we're a little bit TBC about the Greymouth one on Tuesday night. We're just work commitments we've got to sort of sort out, but otherwise we're definitely at the next couple of weekends. So.
Sweet. Well, it was great to see you out there winning and in the Super Saloon. And we wish you all the best for the rest of the series.
Awesome. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
And we're in the starters' hands now. We're on the lights. Brian's holding the green up. We wait. We go. We're away and racing. And it is, as we head down into Enviroways, the 9 car of Philip McNamara up the inside. He's into Kirk as he puts him round. Oh, he's got to try and cat pull it. And as predicted, Simon Bland, there's chaos in the mid-pack there. Cars will overturn 3. Simon Bland leads us in there, but McNamara in the 9 car is screaming around there, bouncing off the 6 car of Travis Clark. But Simon Bland, he's gone in very sideways. McNamara has got the lead though. Steve Peterson in the 28 there on the inside of the 6E car. 35 of John O'Garthy pulling to the infield with that lovely tyre roll, flat outside tyre. The 94D car of Jacob Campbell, he's got some toe out issues, and Gooch is parked in the wall over at turn 3. McNamara is in the lead, back to Bland. Oh, the 1NZ spins himself out in front of 3 of his Christchurch teammates. But gets himself back. Red light is on. That'll be for the Gooch car. These things stop with factory brakes faster than Superstocks.
They do, don't they? They're actually quite good at stopping.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They have a bit of practice, I suppose, but no, they are. They do it well. They show up some of the other classes. So just going to go over and check over on Gooch there on the 6 car.
He's parked in a horrible spot. His door plate is fully exposed to oncoming traffic, so
Yeah, and given the what's been happening in that turn all race, I'm not surprised.
But even these drivers just out braking themselves in the corners, going in very, very quickly and spinning themselves. And we are away and racing again. And McNamara leading us round from Bland back to Clark. Steve Peterson. Oh! I say his name when he got on the gas and it's just so slick out there, it just stepped it out. Just about needed the 555 car there of Mitch Lavender to straighten him out. But out in front is McNamara in the McIntyre car, followed by Simon Bland, Clark then the Lavender in the 555. Steve Peterson and the 26 of Pendley gives him a wee tap. Clark just slipping back in the 6C. And Simon Bland now challenging our leader. And he's just, did he give him a tap? He did. He gave him a list. You wouldn't have even felt that one. It was so gentle. And he's put McNamara around. He's backed up on the infield. Simon Bland, cunning old hound in the 31. Back to Mitchell Lavender and then Steve Peterson. So it's been a bit of switching and swapping of places in those top 3 spots. Bland leads us across the start-finish line. That is 6 laps completed. Although to be fair, I don't think Simon Bland's ELS is actually registering. Fastest lap on the so far has actually been by the 1NZ car of Paul Leslie. Oh, the 6 car right in front of Chris Miles did the big loop-de-loop. And the 71N of Josh Atkinson just going around sounds like a Massey Ferguson. Oh, Kurgazoo goes around. Bland ricocheting off the wall down the back straight. Sort of reminiscent of his production days when he decided to run the wall. To the outside of Clark. It wasn't that many laps ago Clark and he were actually battling for second place. But it is Simon Bland clocking up another lap. Second on the track will be Lavender at the moment, and the 555 followed by Steve Peterson and the Magan Turbo 28. And this is about throttle control now, Tony. It's just about not getting on the gas too early. And if someone's pushing you, just let them push you through the corner. Don't try and out-drive them. Bland though past the Valley Cars Warehouse grandstand, and the ball spinning all over the show. It's Dunedin, Christchurch, and we'll have got down there. Trent caught up there with the 39 car of Billy Gillum, and they still rub each other as they start to restart. And it's still into it. Trent is into the 39 car. He's going to put a hole on his door for his good measure, just to make sure he doesn't forget why he came to Christchurch. He's put him in the wall. He's just holding them there. As McNamara goes round, I think he wants to have another look at that. Put a hole in the door of the 39. White flag is out for Bland. Lavender is not far off the 31 car. In fact, he might actually be in a position to give him a challenge down at turn 2. He's only a car length off him.
It might happen.
Simon Bland heads into turn 2. Lavender goes low. It's a challenge here. Can he just... if he could just get within an earshot of him. But it will be Simon Bland taking away the race win, followed by Mitch Lavender and then Steve Peterson. And out of all of that, Paul Leslie managed to come through for 4th.
Again, another action-packed heat for our street stocks. And again, Steve Peterson finishing 3rd. Didn't he finish 3rd in that previous race he was in as well?
Normally the Peterson's like 2nd.
Yes, they do, don't they? But Paul Leslie came through for 4th place there, and that's a good strong finish for him, given he didn't get points in the first heat. But so some good racing. Still a long way to go for these guys before that final field and the grids for that final field of the GP final tomorrow night.
Just a little bit more niggle in that race. You know, you saw Trent to lay into the 39 car there and just stay in them. If that was if you're genuinely just racing for points or trying to get position, you'd back out of it and go for a race. So maybe we are getting to that point now where some of the guys are going, my weekend's over, let's finish it off for someone else as well. As we look to the chute, we have our Super Saloons back out there. That race will be race 12, brought to us courtesy of Koken.
I think we might play some ads, pay some bills, and come back to you guys very shortly.
Get wholesale tyres in Whakatane.
Need truck tyres? Wholesale tyres. Good tyres, better prices, great people.
Hi, Scott here from Expert Cars. Over the last couple of years I've used Sign Solutions for lots of jobs. Building signage, vehicle signage and even flags. If you need signage done in Invercargill, get in touch with Sign Solutions.
Super Saloons is going to be a bit hard on the tyres, the setup, and just trying to control the cars, but it's the same for everybody. As we look at our grids, it is Josh Verity on pole. To the outside of him, it's going to be Brodie Abrahamson in the 49. Next row will be Peter Bexton and Chaz Rodder. Third row will be Dan Pollock with Sam Waddell on his outside, so we've got the mount controlling that third row. Then we go back to Steve Walling with Mark Pitcher in the 9W to the outside, and Trevor Elliott and Kane Lawson round us out.
All right, so we're looking for a race start. The next heat for the Black Baldy Cattle Company sponsored Extreme Dirt Series. We're green, we're racing, not the most even of starts, you'd have to say. And I wouldn't be surprised if the referee calls that one back down the back straight. There we go, yellow, 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 he says.
Yeah.
So the ruling is the car 23 jumped the start. He's been given a warning by the referee.
And I recognise that referee's voice too, so he has been... Yes.
Yep, so car 23.
Josh Verity.
Josh Verity in the ex-Steve Cowling Pro X. Just his second season in Supers. 49's the pace setter. He's got to stay alongside 49. He can't poke his nose in front.
Well, it wasn't a nose in front, he was a car length.
Yeah. So this time we go green, and this time they're much more even, by my judgment anyway. And in fact, the 23 car Verity missed out on the start there, passed around the outside by the 33 of Chase Rodder. And here comes Waddell in the 18 car, weaving his way through the pack, finding a bit of clear space. Pitcher's tucked in behind him. Verity's down on the pole line. But out front, Abrahamson in the 49 car has had a fantastic start, squirting the dirt as he goes through 1 and 2, and looking very, very strong. Here comes Waddell, taking the inside line there. Probably not the favoured position for that car, but it worked for him, and he's taken over second place. 33 tucked into third place at the moment. The 9 car Pitcher right on his tail. Peter Bexton starting to wheel lift a little bit in that 58 car, and he's just trying to feed the throttle in.
He fed it.
It's sort of in chunks rather than in one smooth action. It's not easy on this surface, not easy at all. So Abrahamson out front completes 3 laps. Fastest lap so far, an 18.2 by Sam Waddell on that last lap, lap 3. So Waddell closing on Abrahamson. Has Abrahamson done enough to build a lead that he can defend through to the end of the race, or will Sam Waddell catch him?
Bexton's got some boogie in it. He is right on the back of the 9W, and he is... Oh, Rodder's got all out of shape. Bexton has to get out of it.
Has to pull out, and so he loses momentum as well. and that's just left the front two to pull even further away. The gap between Abrahamson and Waddell, 1.5 seconds now, and the gap further back, almost 6 seconds to the third place battle.
Bengston's
Here comes
got the move.
Bengston. Yep, round the outside, beautifully done. We know that car's capable of exactly that type of operation in the hands of Mark Osborne, and Bengston just doing the same.
If you look at how everyone's noticed where he's went, they all went to go up there and went, oh no, the car's not set for that.
No.
Bengston's car's set up for that. Actually at the front, Tony.
Yep.
Waddell
is closing. He's closing on Abrahamson.
And although Mr. Spectacular at the moment is the 58 car, he's just going to rub that thing on the wall if he can.
So 7 laps down, 3 to go. Waddell's a car length behind Abrahamson. It's another lap to close that car length, then 2 laps to try and get past. Oh, it's tight. It's tight. Waddell's quicker, there's no doubt about it, but Abrahamson's got the track position. Waddell's got all the work to do. May even come up on the back of the back markers on that last lap. Bengston's settled down on the tad now as he's made it into a solid third place. Waddell's just dropped off a fraction there, but has had a little moment going into turn 3, I think, and that's given Abrahamson just the cushion he needs in the last lap. It is the white flag. It is the last lap round for Baldy Abrahamson. He's led from start to finish. Can Sam Waddell pinch the win off him? He keeps the car down low. Abrahamson's up high, but it works for Abrahamson. He takes the win. Good driving from the 49 car from Auckland. Sam Waddell in second place, and there's your third place car, Peter Bengston in the 58. Some 9.1 seconds off the lead.
Bengston was nothing but spectacular in that.
Oh, boy, was he, what?
I mean, don't get me, they're not setting record laps. It was just under 20 seconds. But he was wheel lifting. Trev thought, oh, he's just going to lose it. I'll stay just back far enough I can counter him at the end. But no, it was beautifully done. Look at the front right corner of Trev's car. Is that from grinding on the track through the corners? The whole front right corner bent up or smooth and flat.
Interesting, yeah, possibly so. That was actually quite an exciting race. There were some good battles in there. You could watch different parts of that race and see some really competitive racing between skilled drivers who weren't going to give an inch.
So we've actually had our first wave of points come through for the New Zealand Streetstock Grand Prix qualifying.
Yes.
I'm just having a look here. Yeah, so the total points at the moment leading us after 3 rounds of racing, Simon Bland.
Yeah.
Steve Peterson, 1 point behind him, and then back to Cody Pedley, Matt Stewart, Chris Miles, Brooke Peterson. Really, when you look at the guys that are in there, it's not about whether you win the race, it's about finishing the races that you're in.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean a lot because it's still a rinse and repeat and we've got to wash it all out. But there are a lot of drivers at the back end of this that haven't done
0 points.
On 0 points. So if we looking through here, we'll try and be nice to them. So 41C Fleming, 46C Sean Andrew, Glen Shepherd, 56B, 36C Alan Aitchison, 8VE Blair Ladd, 53N Perry Soper, and 15C Ben Turner. None of them have scored any points. So and they pretty much are from about position 37 backwards, so they've made their nights really hard. In fact, tomorrow night might not even be a possibility based on that.
Indeed.
Are you building a new commercial business or home? Or is it time that your existing premises had a repaint anywhere in the South Island? Then Anderton Decorators have you covered. From floor to ceiling, wall to roof, Anderton Decorators offer the latest techniques, equipment and technology to make even the hardest tasks seem simple. Anderton Decorators also has the expert team to take the frustration out of your next project. Call Shane today on 027 Painting. That's 027 724 6846. Anderton Decorators. We have you covered.
It's action for the whole family. With 23 tracks around New Zealand, there is no better way to spend your weekends than at a Speedway New Zealand track.
Here they come to the start-finish line again.
There's something for the whole family. Sprint cars, saloons, stock cars, sidecars, midgets, and much, much more. Pack up the family and make a trip to adrenaline-filled, action-packed bashes and crashes that only Speedway can deliver. Visit www.speedway.co.nz to find out the track nearest to you. Speedway, it's our summer thing.
And down to the pits, someone who I bet he wished he'd had $765, but he's got a race win instead, Simon Bland.
How about that?
Okay, we are here with the 31 V. Sorry, Simon Bland. You go out, you're winning your heats. That's a good way to qualify for this thing.
Yeah. We're just going out there and we're having fun. That's what we're doing. We're not worried about winning, really. I just fucked it up with another car, which I shouldn't have hit him, but never mind. We'll just carry on.
Magic. And hot off the heels of the New Zealand's down here at Woodford, Glen. Should be a pretty good event. You reckon things will spice up a little bit tomorrow night?
Oh, the final. You can count on it. The final is what? How many laps is it? 15, 18 laps. Final, winner take all. It'll be gorgeous.
Yeah. She's pretty damn slick out there. What's it like in a street stock with everything being that slick?
Well, in Blenheim on the Friday night, that car hooked up really good in the wet. So I've had to do a couple of wee titteries to try and get it, because I knew with all these super saloons, that it was going to be a real slick track. So we're just trying to drive to the conditions, basically. Let's hope it doesn't rut up.
Magic, mate. Well, it's good to see you. It's good to see you down here. Good to see you out there winning, and all the best for the rest of it.
Thank you, mate. You're doing a good job. Keep it up.
And we're on, I've been told they're in the starter's hands. Revs are building, a little bit of pushing, but we are away. And not exactly a rocket start at the front, but Soap is trying to get away with it, but he's hooked onto the 9W. They discover how greasy it is out there. Out high and wide. Some of them use the wall to get round.
Some of them go round in more ways than one.
They are. Finch has got through, but then he's got blocked up with the ins car, and there's a whole bunch of Dunedin, and the 9 car straight into the wall. Out of all of that, it is the McCarrison with the 2NZ of
Major
Jones.
traffic jam in turn 4 there.
Oh yeah, this is like Christmas at Rickett and Moore. It is beautiful down there at Enviroways. So bearing in mind, the 2NZ car came from 2/3 of the way down the pack.
Yeah.
He's had a beautiful run here, but you've got to race intelligent. And he's staying down low. There is a little bit of drive off down low. But there's some guys that are well and truly overdriving themselves at the moment. So McCarrison back to the 56 of Shepherd. Limping up by the wall, it's Buddy Finch. I'd say he's got a flat outside front. The 8 car of Ladd is pulled to the infield. Well, at least he's got all 4 wheels on the car this time. And a bit of chaos in that mid-pack. Dave McSherry right at the back here trying to work his way through there. But out in front, heading past the Value Cars warehouse, it is the 2NZ of Jones, McCarrison. In fact, it might actually be... no, Schumacher's a lap down. Keeping it, the 345, they're having a crack at the 10 car down to Enviroways. Pushes them wide. Finch still limping down the front here. 3NZ trying up the inside of Jenkins. And the 8 car rejoined on the back straight. Smoke coming off the back of the 118 of Finch. McCarrison gets all crossed up coming out of 4. And I think that's bodywork or bar work rubbing on the right rear tyre of the 118. Dave McSherry spun to the infield. He's trying to get going. Alan Aitchison spun down that turn of 4. And our race leader. He's had a relatively uneventful race other than getting it through from the start.
A charmed run, you might say.
Well, it wasn't that long ago that car was the 777 car in the hands of Kahu Ipaha. But it is now the 2NZ of Mike Jones. He's ahead of McCarrison, although McCarrison might be... oh no, I think he is still on the lead lap. We're getting out of shape here. We're in the back markers. We've got cars limping. We've got one smoking away down at turn 2. And just Liz Jenkins gets put round by the 9W of Wilton. Our race leader up the inside of Hart down to Enviroways. He's currently on lap 8 at the moment. He'll finish that one off. The 56 car, that's managed to rejoin on the back straight. As the 121 car finally gets a break in traffic and is able to get to the infield. Our race leader though, on the back straight through to Enviroways. McCarrison running second. McCarrison's car is not handling it in the slightest, but he's doing enough just to stay there. McSherry's a lap down. He's trying to unwind himself here. Palmer in the 315. As pretty as a car as that is actually the third car on the track. We're in the wall with the 9W. Keach is in there as well in the 44 car. And the 10i car is in there as well. They've unhooked. A little bit of bent bar work on all of them. That's what happens as we look to Brian. What's he got? He's got the white flag in his hand at the moment. Our race leader just going past the Valley Cars Warehouse Grandstand. Apart from just having to avoid the chaos, he's just keeping it nice and tidy. I think that's the trick. Don't get caught up in other people's nonsense. White flag out for Jones. Heads down to turn 1. Nice gap over McCarrison. He's got 4 cars between him and McCarrison. And he's just got to keep it clean through Envirowaste. In fact, he gets on the brakes early. Just backs off the throttle. In fact, he's not even accelerating until he's on the straight, Tony. He just
very, very careful.
And
he built the lead, and then he protected it by driving very carefully. Sensible stuff.
Not something you'd normally associate.
No, well, I wasn't going to say that, but no, I mean, it is very sensible.
Scott Palmer in the 315 car out of Dunedin. He actually took away third. Looking at it, no, Jordan O'Connell got through into third. Palmer and then Soper in the 3NZ for fifth. So you just get to there. About now is a good time to get off the track and let everybody else know the race is over.
Good racing there from our Streetstocks in their next group of the night. So that was brought to us by Sylvester V8 Performance. And next up, Koken will be bringing us some Super Saloon action, Group B versus Group D of the Extreme Dirt Series.
Baldy Abramson we have here, who won the last Super Saloon heat. Mate, that's an excellent round. How does it feel to be out there and winning?
Yeah, it's good. That's the first win in the new car this year, so it was good to get a win, and especially this calibre of drivers here, in night 1 of the series, so pretty stoked actually.
Excellent. And you mentioned that it's a brand new car for you this season. You also have a brand new child, also known as a baby. I'll give you that. So which brand new thing do you love more? Just to put you on the spot, mate, there is only one correct answer, so which one is it?
Oh, I better say Carson, little boy. Yeah, pretty special to have little child now, and yeah. But no, the car's a close second.
Close second. Well, that was actually the wrong answer. The car comes first. No, but so this weekend, this whole week, the series is golf and go-karts and a few other bits and pieces. How do you rate your crew's chances on those things, and which do you think that they'll really succeed in?
Yeah, golf's probably going to be a write-off, I'd say. Go-karts, I'd like to think so, yeah. We've got a quiz night on Sunday as well, so yeah, who knows.
Yeah, and they take pretty good care of you in your winning ways?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, we've got a good team here, a good team of sponsors and stuff like that. So, pretty fortunate.
Awesome, mate. Been a pleasure to chat to you. I'm sure we'll have another chat later on when you keep winning these races. So, good luck for the rest of the night and tomorrow night and the rest of the week.
Cool, thank you. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Whether you're at home watching on the stream or you're here in the stadium, you're hearing the same interviews from the Pits TV. Of course, if you can't make it here to the track tomorrow night, Pits TV will be live streaming.
So as we look at our grids, pole position is going to go to Jackson Lovelady in the 17C to the outside, Ian Burson in the 21N. Second row will be Hayden Mackay in the 86C. And if you're watching on the stream, he looks buzzed out in that photo. Yeah. 27P on the outside of Ingram. Then Bigwood will be in the 36 with the Craig Partington in the 69M beside him. And Richie Taylor will have Dave Manera in the fourth row of the grid. Then we go back to Matt Summerfield in the 881C with Jacob Flynn in the 10 car, in the 6B car in 10th, and the GOAT will be the last car on the track, Brent Emerson. We head down the back straight. We're in the starter's hands, Tony. We'll be looking like we're all ready to go.
They got on with it this time, haven't they? Foot to the floor, away we go, racing time, and Jackson Lovelady off the front with Ian Burson right beside him, and Burson gets the jump, goes in a bit deep though. The 27 car is coming on strong there too, and Mackay in fourth place at the moment. Back to Richie Taylor. The 36 is there or thereabouts, Dale Bigwood. We've gone yellow. And And Dave Manera, Mr. Excitement, living up to his name. Not quite sure why we went yellow there.
I'm not sure Dave's even aware we're under yellow yet.
So the 7 car, Brent Emerson, has pulled into the infield. Obviously some kind of issue. Something on the track, is it? Yeah, they're picking something up there.
A bit of body work. Yeah, I'd say Brent just had a moment. And to be fair, 4 very different cars. It's a matter of just how you get that traction tonight.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's all about traction. It's all about a steady, sensitive right foot. Okay, away we go. This time we go green, and both cars absolutely side by side. Burson gets the jump off the start there. Hits his nose in front of Lovelady. Ingram's gone very, very high and wide, lifting the inside front wheel. But he's got great traction out of turn 2 to get past Mackay. Mackay keeping it down low at the moment. Mr. Sensible there.
We've lost Emerson with a flat left rear.
Yep, so Emerson's car has pulled off. The front 5 have cleared away. Richie Taylor's part of that group as well, putting the pressure on Ingham, so much so in fact that he runs into the back of him through turn 2. Ingram, I think, just lifting there slightly as his car was pushing, and I don't think Ingram's car is particularly comfortable. Or at least Ingram's not very comfortable with the way it's working at the moment. He's trying to run it down a bit lower this time through 2, and that's a bit more successful. Out front, Burson's holding on to the lead, but it's the narrowest of leads, just a fraction of a car length ahead of Lovelady. And the 86 of Mackay, the rear of that car now reattached and working as it should do, is putting up a fine performance in 3rd place. We go back to Richie Taylor, who's taken over 4th. Ingram, who's dropping off a little bit, and then quite a long way back to Manera, who's come through. That's the old Ian Burson car, and he's got that fair humming at the moment as well. He's ahead of Jacob Flynn in the 6B car. Side-by-side action between Summerfield and the 69 of Craig Partington near the back of the field, and right at the very back there, the 36 of Bigwood. So another lap about to be ticked off. That's 5 completed, half distance now. Jackson Lovelady has the lead over the 21 of Ian Burson. Hayden Mackay keeping that car down very low through the turns, holding on to 3rd place at the moment, but you get the feeling Richie Taylor's car is a little quicker. He is a little stronger, and it may only be a matter of time before he's challenging Mackay. Lovelady, meanwhile, is pulling away. The gap there, 1.3 seconds on that lap. And as the track has slicked up even more, perhaps not surprisingly, the Lovelady chassis just loves it. Laps it up and says, yep, give me more power, give me more power. I can put power down in dusty conditions. I was built for this. Burson in the 21 car, holding on to 2nd. Mackay right on his tail. Bit of a freight train there really with Taylor. Now Ingram coming back as well. Perhaps the track surface has come to Ingram after those first few laps weren't ideal. And now Richie Taylor's got to be a bit defensive because he knows Ingram's there just up the inside. 8 laps gone, just 2 to go now, or 1.5 really, as Lovelady comes through in Vara Waste turn, tiptoes his way around, feeds the power in now out of turn 4, picks up the white flag for his troubles. Just 1 to go. He's just got to very carefully bring his way home. Burson, however, has got to defend against the 86 of Mackay, and just behind him, Richie Taylor's got to defend against the 27 of Ingram. So all the action for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Checkered flag goes out for the winner. That's Lovelady, gets his 2nd victory of the night. Ian Burson holds on for 2nd, and Hayden Mackay, good drive there for 3rd.
What I found really interesting out of that, Tony, was that all 5 cars at the front were all very different chassis.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yep.
There was, Jackson in the LRC. You've got the Dixon Hypermac, followed by the Gorge, the Stealth, and of course the very early Hypermac that Hayden Mackay's running, all running within a stone's throw of each other on arguably probably the most challenging track they've all driven on this year.
Yep.
But yet they are all in that zone.
They were all in that zone. They weren't making mistakes. They were being competitive. They were really trying to take places off each other.
Technical Welding Services Hamilton are specialists in the transit concrete mixer industry. From chassis drop-off to a full working concrete mixing, the team will take care of the job from start to finish. Full engineering services and general sheet metal work can also be undertaken. Need a quote? Call 07 847 2031 or visit our website www.techweld.nz. Technical Welding Services Hamilton, we are the experts.
Mike Jones, the winner of the last Streetstock heat. Pretty awesome race, mate, and you were off near the front, but the previous race you started at the back, which is your bad grid, and you worked your way up to 5th, so quite well placed so far in the Streetstock GP, yeah?
Yep. Yeah, we're going pretty good actually, yeah. A
bit of a shock.
Yeah.
Just a bad question from me, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, nah.
Jeez, mate. All right. No, in that first heat, in the first lap, on turn 3 and 4, there was absolute carnage. Did you see any of that, and how'd you get through?
It was luck, total luck. I'm just having a bit of a lucky run at the moment, and I'm just soaking it up and enjoying it, yeah.
Perfect, mate. You could have said pure skill, but you went with just blind luck, eh?
Yeah, total luck.
It's too honest. These Streetstock drivers, come on. No, but the rest of the race, it looked fairly cruisy. I'm sure it wasn't cruisy, but you had a decent amount of space between you and second place.
Yeah, the track's slicking right off, so yeah, we couldn't use the power. We just had to cruise it and try and get some grip, but there's not much out there, and everyone else looked like they were struggling as well, so we were just lucky to get that gap and hold it.
Sweet, mate. And you have that brand new 2NZ on the car, and that's absolutely fantastic. And you're out here doing it great. Is there less pressure tonight, knowing that you have that 2NZ on your car?
I felt a bit more pressure, really. Like, people come out, and I've had a lot of people come and see me, and you just think, like, it feels like you got to do well now. It's it's a weird feeling, but yeah.
And you got guys asking stupid questions on live streams that you can't really ask.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
On that note, I'll let you back to it. Good luck for the rest of the night. No more questions at the moment.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, mate.
They've been replaced by another set, but look, we're green and racing, so we'll talk about these points after this race, eh?
As Nick Fraser leads us down into turn 1, followed there by Phileas, and Tony's trying not to die coughing beside me. As Vaughan Fairburn's up the inside of Palmer.
Bit of cherry stone stuck in my throat.
At the front though, it is the 99 of Fraser leading us away. We move further back through the back. There's a battle here between the 78 and 17. David Phileas has gone out high, and he might have opened the door here for Fairburn. Fairburn has to back out of it as he was starting to wash out. Production's actually looking deceptively quick out there, but they're looking at the ELS, they're not. Nick Fraser there, just on a 21-second lap, so their times have fallen away a wee bit. But it is still Formula Honda at the front here with Fraser, Phileas and Fairburn. We move further back to Palmer, the 197 there of Samuel Jack, Greg Rooney, Liam Gray in the 12C, and Matt Sherlock in the 91 car. And he'd just about be on a knife edge at the moment, I think, after the last race.
You'd be wondering, wouldn't you?
Well, not really accustomed to driving a rear-wheel drive car. As we watch...
Oh, there he goes.
You've been awfully quiet about the BMWs tonight, to be fair, Tony.
Yeah, I have.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
And Fairburn gets through on Phileas, but I think he just about smeared the front bumper with the side of his car. And it is white flag out for Nick Fraser. Then the Honda's all on the rev limiter coming down here. The FTO looks like it's got up the inside of Phileas. And we head into the EnviroRace for the final time. The checkered is out for Nick Fraser. And we've got another spinner over there of Gray spinning at turn 2. That's the Matt Sherlock spinning spot.
Yeah.
So Fraser takes the win back to the 17 and the 68. And I reckon for the third race we bring the ramps for the ramp race derby out, Tony.
Yeah, something like that. We've definitely got to give Nick Fraser a half lap, penalty or something. He's too good. So the points as they stand at the moment in the race for grid positions for the New Zealand Streetstock Grand Prix, which will be the last race of the night tomorrow night.
Still leading is with 42 points is 31V Simon Bland. 1 point back on 41, 28C Steve Peterson. 1 point further back on 40 points is the 2NZ of Mike Jones. Then we go to Alan Finch and Stephen Soper, both tied for 37 points. Then Jordan O'Connell-Inns and Cody Pedley, both on 36 points. Ben Jenkins on 35, Matt Stewart on 34, Chris Miles on 33, an honorary mention for Corey Schumacher on 32. Those are your top 11 in the battle for those grid positions for the winner-takes-all final tomorrow night.
As our stock cars are out, now we have, as we mentioned before, I mentioned 6 names or 7 names. If I mention those names, they're the ones that are in trouble for qualifying for tomorrow night. If I didn't mention them, hey, Sarah. So really what it means at this point is we're sort of in this bit of a wash where we're between accumulating points. It's going to be hard to say what our qualifiers are, but what we can say with them, and they were right in front of me there. Wade Sweeting is top at the moment with Hadley Smith, Chris Wildey, Caleb Adam, Kahu Agnew, Michael Harris, Jason Brooks, Braden Lennon, Harley Robb and Cam Dench make up our top 10. As we all look awkwardly over my shoulder at what my son's doing in here, knocking things off shelves. And
when the lead cars come around, guys, can we start to grid up? Thank you.
Pretty much all you'd expect, all those that you would have expected to have qualified are going to go through at this point. Night's not over, but certainly the cars that have DNFs, and that would be Connor Phillips, Rodney Good, Troy Prendergast, Cole Soden and Ben Bennell have made their nights really, really hard.
Yeah, they need to perform now.
I did note that 1 or 2 of them are actually...
They're not there.
No, one of them's there. So the 43 car, he's got to actually get some points out of this race, or he might as well leave it on the trailer. And don't think anyone else that I've mentioned. As we're in the starter's hands, we're creeping a little bit, but we're away. We let him go. Smith and Cleveland lead us into turn 1. Lennon just slaps his way through into 3rd spot. As we head around to the back straight, it is greasy. Down the back straight, past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand. We go in, Hadley Smith goes in super hot underneath Cleveland. Watch this mid-pack. Is anybody going to screw it up and cause the big pile-up? Oh no, we're slapping around. Holden's coming through the 11T car, tries to have a line-up of him. Lennon's got through into 2nd at the moment. Cleveland falling back to Harley Robb. Smith there gets the bit of hurry up from Braden. Cleveland into the back of the 4 car. As we come onto the front straight, the 4C just hooks up and goes. As Harley Robb sticks the nose up the inside of Cleveland. The 46 car slides through the infield down the front straight. Cleveland goes out wide by the wall. 17 is somehow avoided.
That was a heart and mouth moment, I would say.
Oh, the good thing is you just don't look in your mirrors. So they'll go and remove the 17 car off the back straight. Our race leader right here in front of us. Lennon will be definitely just trying to accumulate points to make sure that he can get through to the 2nd night. 17 car, I think he might have been. He was sitting in 33rd spot, so he was right on the cusp. And this is not helping him at all.
Not at all.
But what it is, it may even actually get to the point where the ripper charge to go through is just not needed at this point. Okay, we are racing again. Very slow away is... Oh no. Everyone got moving, but only just. From the 851 over turn 4. Lennon back to Smith, Sweeting, Cleveland. Harley Robb fell back a little bit. And coming through, it is... Jay Holton, he just gives Cleveland the little tickle up. Harley Robb goes up the inside of the 317. Of course, these boys are all racing for position. But the 817, they're having a wee battle with the 46. A race leader comes through, but now spun to the infield, the 43 car. And Cleveland gets put round, was it? Yeah. By looked like the 95 car of Rondell. But out in front, Lennon past the Billy Cars Warehouse Grandstand, back to Sweeting and Smith as we watch to see who's making moves. 5 car of Malloy sounds pretty average coming down the front straight, like it's dropping a cylinder. And in this mid-pack bunch, Rob battling there with Clive, Rondell, as we're clocking up another lap for our race leaders as they head through Enviro Waste. And that 5 car is effectively limping his way around, and McPherson tries to get into the back of Thine. Thine there just looking to move through onto the 214. McPherson though charged hard into the corners on him. Oh, Smith crosses it all up in front of Holtham. Holtham actually straightens him up. It's going to allow Harley Robb through. James Stein's going to be right on the back of Smith. In fact, he pops to the inside of him and gets the pass done. Holtham with Robb and Thine. Out in front though, it is Lennon who's in the amongst the back markers at the moment. Sweeting's in behind him. Sweeting there just looking to get through on Bennell. And Harley Robb giving James Stein the hurry up as his Tyler McPherson white flag is out. As the checkered comes out for the 4C, followed by the 151. Third will go to Holtham, Thine, McPherson and Harley Robb. And that seemed like a, like you say, hammer down sprint race.
It was a hammer down. It was, I've got to get points now. No messing around. So Braden Lennon got to the front early and stayed there. Wade Sweeting followed him through. Harley Robb finished 6th, and whilst I'm sure he's done enough to get himself in the finals tomorrow night, he must be just a little bit concerned there. Seemed to lack some pace in that heat compared to his rivals.
Yeah, well, the problem you have with some of these cars is, whilst there's not a lot of horsepower difference between them, the cars that have the bigger horsepower, if they're not laying it into the track, they're just going to wheel spin. And Harley's car still is a new car. Well, he's doing his darndest to make it an old car quick, but they're still learning a lot of stuff around that car. And this track may be just something new it hasn't been on. Just that slick.
Yep.
As we look to the chute, we've got the Super Saloons about to come out again. Making a habit of it, those Super Saloons coming out, Tony.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Super Saloon races tonight. 9 were programmed on. I don't know how many have we had so far.
I'm not sure, but I can tell you that the next race will be brought to us courtesy of Enviro Waste, Event 17. As we watch the 4C take the checkered flag around. Think about the track. I hate to think how much water we've put on the track.
Whole tank full.
Well, this is going to be a completely new track tomorrow. Immediately after the meeting, the track will get graded.
The St. Nicholas is a familiar sight around Bluff as she steams out to capture Can-Do Fishing's famous Bluff Kinner. Once caught, the Kinner is brought back to the purpose-built factory in Bluff where it is processed, packed and shipped fresh to you. But that's not all that Can-Do Fishing can do for you. Try some of their green-boned fish or delicious power products and you will soon see why seafood from the Bluff is world famous. So head to your local fish market or supermarket and ask for Can-Do Fishing Kinner, fish or power. Can-Do Fishing, there's nothing we can't do for you.
Jackson Lovelady, 17C, it's going pretty good and they can't take that one off you.
Nah, can't take that one off us, so that's good. It's going pretty good, yeah, we're pretty happy with it tonight. We've made quite a lot of changes to the car over the last couple of weeks since we've had some time off between Boxing Day, and it seems to be really paying dividends. So looking forward to the next one, starting off 6, and we'll see how we go. But yeah, no, it's really good. I really want to thank our partners, Lovely Race Cars, RTR Vehicles, Megan Turbo, Fox, McElroy Hire, and Full Spectrum Signs. Without them, we wouldn't be here at all. So,
long mate, continue. Good luck for the rest of them. Thanks, Jackson.
As we have the next heat of Super Saloons out there. Front row will have the 33B of Rodder The outside of him will be Cowling in the 37M. Second row, we'll have Greg Johnson on the inside with Peter Begston on the outside. Then we have Josh Bolton with his old car of Snedden in the 8K beside him, with Walling in the 99M and his trackmate, the 18M of Waddell for the fourth row. Kane Lawson with the 3NZ of Cardwell. Well, they're parked beside each other in the pits. That will be a lovely chat if they run into each other.
Bingo. Look at the power there. Look at that way that power does get down to the ground and hooked up. He's a car length and a bit ahead by the end of the front straight. Bengston bouncing around but staying with him. And the 8 car of Snedden holding on to third place. 18 of Waddell coming through up the inside to challenge Snedden now. Tucked in behind him is Cardwell, who's made his way through from the back, and the 33 of Chase Rodder. Then Johnson's there in the 77 car. Josh Bolton not having a lot of luck at the moment at the back of the pack, and Kane Lawson racing alongside the 99 machine of Steve Walling. And so back front side now we go in the 37 of Cowling. A car that looks like it's going to tip over every time it goes around a corner, but boy does it get the power down and stick it down into the clay. It just leaps ahead out of the turns. It's a very impressive piece of kit. The 58 car of Bengston staying with him though, no doubt about it. The 8 car of Snedden just dropping off the back of Bengston a little bit, and the 18 of Waddell yet to really get the go forward we know that he might yet bring in this race. So another lap ticked off. That's 4 down now for Steve Cowling. Gap 1.05 back to Bengston. But now Waddell starts to close the gap on Snedden. Are we seeing the beginnings of Waddell's push for the front in this race? Let's see how that gap goes back down. So it's 1.05. Goes down to goes up to 1.31. So Cowling pulling away from Bengston. Snedden holding off Waddell for now, but Waddell nipping at his heels, particularly through the turns. A long way back to the 3 of Cardwell and the 77 of Johnson, and even further back to the rest of the field. So that's 6 laps down now for Steve Cowling. He's in control, pulling away a little bit from Bengston, who's holding on to second at the moment. Waddell didn't have such a good lap that time round. He's just dropped off the back of Snedden slightly. He needs to keep his lines very consistent, Sam Waddell. He's always looking for a bit more grip, and that car, it's a very twitchy looking car. It doesn't always go exactly where he points it. And at the moment, it's just starting to make up the ground again on Snedden that he lost on that lap 2 laps ago. Cowling, meanwhile, 1.49 ahead of Bengston now. He's eking out the lead. Bengston absolutely driving 10 tenths but can't close the gap. If anything, it's Snedden and Waddell who are closing on Bengston. Waddell keeping it down low now, running up the inside. We're in the white zone, just 1 to go. I think Snedden's probably got enough here if he doesn't get held up by Bengston, and I don't mean that unkindly. It's just that those 3 cars, Bengston, Snedden and Waddell, so tightly together there. Race win will go to Steve Cowling easily enough. Bengston holds on for second, and despite some pretty valiant effort from Sam Waddell there, he has to settle for 4th behind Snedden in 3rd.
Yeah, that was one of those situations where the race, the green flag drops and you just waved goodbye to Cowling. You knew he was going to go. Begston has done a really good job of hanging on there. He had some hard charges with the 8K and the 18M behind him, but he did what he had to do. He just kept it in the same line, lap after lap, and he was fast enough just to keep ahead.
Yeah, indeed. Another lap or 2 would have been quite interesting there in that battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Oh, if that had been a feature race or a 25 lap or something, that would have been quite painful for poor old Pete, I think.
Yeah.
As we look to the shoot, the Streetstocks have got another race coming out shortly.
We'll be back with them very, very soon.
For some drivers now, it's about consolidating the points you got and not doing anything stupid.
Yep, and I think you'd put Mike Jones in the 2NZ car in that category, wouldn't you?
As would you probably the 118 car as well, and Stewart there in the 828. McNamara in the 9B has had a horrid night, and so some of these cars have to do something special here and get some points. Other cars just got to consolidate it. Steve Peterson right off the back there. He's done enough He's just got to bring the car home in one piece.
Yep, pick up a few points. Dave McSherry, on the other hand, 62.
Very quiet night. He's got a little bit
he's
of work
got to try and get to the front of this field. Yeah.
Because of course with the split groups, you might feel like you're railing 25th, 20th. I've done just enough to qualify. The problem is there might be great cars that haven't done all the races that will come through after you have no chance to race them, and they may come through and trump you on points.
Yes.
Just look at that 9W car at the back there of Aaron Wilton. I was trying to figure out what it reminded me of. Barney the dinosaur.
Oh yeah, it's that
colour
colour.
scheme.
The colour is very, very close, isn't it?
Probably not fair, but yes, as we look at the 2NZ of Mike Jones on the front with Tranter beside him, this is really an opportunity for Mike Jones just to get clear of it. Kirk Aldridge just going to the infield. I think, to be fair though, he is driving a Nika's car tonight. And we're in the starter's hands, we're away and racing, and Tranter gets a good start. So that outside line had more drive on it, but Jones has position as we head into turn one. He's up the inside. On the outside of him, it is Matt Stewart in the 828 car. Oh, McSherry's getting caught up with Keach down the back straight. So we head through, and McNamara's cannonballed into turn 3 and 4. Out of all of this, Jones out in front. Back to Finch and Stewart, who got all out of shape. They tag each other. It's given a bit of a gap. And we've got one spun there on the infield. So Mike Jones leads us back to Alan Finch and Matt Stewart. Cody McCarrison there and Lavender in the 555. So those guys have just got to keep it clean now. Don't do anything stupid. Don't get caught in back markers. To be honest, not even race each other. Just race the track. Sparks off McNamara as he shoots down the back straight. He's behind Lavender in the 555. And he's going to clip the back of Lavender, isn't he? Yes. No, did he get him?
Maybe not.
Yeah, he's got Lavender goes past McCarrison. McNamara is now going to go to the side of McCarrison. He's just leaning on him, and he's going to cross them both up, and Trent is going to get McNamara and spin him to the infield. So he's kind of like our Peter Begston.
Yes.
He's spectacular, but Begston at least was finishing the moves. Out in front though, it is Jones back to Finch, Stewart, Lavender, McCarrison, McSherry. Oh, more incident down at turn 4 with McNamara catching the front bumper of the 56 of Shepherd. But it is the 2NZ of Jones back to Finch. So not a lot's changing there. You can almost sense that Finch doesn't want to race the 2NZ. He knows he's just going to bring the car home. The 44 car of Keach, it'll be a back marker that's being picked up in the midst of all of this. As we watch Stewart go through on the 44. Out in front though, it is the 2NZ. He's got a bit of clear space around him. Now the car that ran third to him in the last race, the 315, is actually about to get lapped up as a back marker in the next lap. And that's the 315 of Scott Palmer.
He did get spun up by McSherry earlier on though.
But he opens the door and Jones will just go through. Well, but one is spinning at 56 there. And he's right in the dark part of the track, so he wants to get out of that spot quickly. He does. As our race leaders head through Enviro Waste onto the front straight. It is Jones. Finch is right there on his heels, but he doesn't have to do anything kamikaze. We've got the 56 parked in the wall again over at turn 2. He's determined to go get himself a slushy or a Mr. Whoopi over there anyway. As Finch goes to the outside of Jones, gives him a wee little tap up the inside. Jones just opens the door. He's not going to fight him. No need to at this point. Just bring the car home in one piece. Stewart is sitting there in third. We are on the 9th lap at the moment. And it is now Alan Finch in the lead. Stewart coming into Enviro Waste very, very hot on the back of the 2NZ car, but scrubs off the speed out by the wall. No one's really getting too aggressive. They're actually trying to race this one out, I'm sensing, Tony.
Oh yeah, it's all about points this race, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th cars, even up to about 6th. McSherry just don't want to wreck themselves. White flag is out for Finch. He's up on the back end of the 9B. Ducks to the inside. Matt Stewart might have a late lunge at the 2NZ car down in Vorwaste. You can just sense that he's within striking range. And he does. Here we go. He'll go through, but slide down. The checkered flag is out for the 118 car. Matt Stewart and Mike Jones. I think Jones just conceded those spots in those last 2 laps just to save the car.
Absolutely, I think that's exactly what he was doing. Racing with his head rather than just with his foot. He knows that, all right, he can afford to drop a point or two here or there. If he can get the haul of points that goes with 3rd place, he'll take that. And sensible stuff. So Finch wins it from Matt Stewart, Mike Jones. Mitch Lavender came through 4th. Dave McSherry managed to get up to 5th after a little bit of trouble in that first lap and added a valuable 18 points to his total there.
Before that race, he was actually sitting 3rd on points.
Okay.
So he's safe. He's just got to avoid the nonsense. So we look to, speaking of the nonsense, Super Saloons are in the shoot.
And there can't be too many more races left to go, which means we should probably play the last of our ads to keep our advertisers and sponsors happy. So we'll be back very, very shortly.
It doesn't matter how hard the job is, we suck it up and get it done. No matter how dirty our hands have to get, we suck it up and get it done. Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up.
Suck it up and get it done with suckitup.co.nz.
3NZ Steve Cowling, the winner of that last Super Saloon heat. Mate, how does it feel out there?
Yeah, I'm 3NZ a few years ago, but thanks for thinking I'm that good. So, no, it was good. It was we had a good car that one. We chased our butts a little bit in the second one and made a few more changes and felt like we were a lot more on the pace than that one.
Perfect. And you're looking forward to all the shenanigans this week of the series?
Yeah, it should be a good week. The Extreme Series sounds like it's like a whole family thing, and yeah, I think a lot of the crew are keen to get in and see what happens.
Excellent. And what do you do for a day job? You don't build cars, do you?
No, we leave that up to Dad. We run the family business, Tauranga ITM, up in Tauranga, so me and my brother and another fella, Brent, we look after that day to day, and so that keeps us busy enough, and we leave Morris to play with cars all day long.
Perfect, mate. But I bet he has a bit of a helping hand for you when he's when you're out there.
Yeah, he's up at home supporting Chris tonight, trying to back up his 1NZ Saloon. So a lot of phone calls tonight, a lot of text messages and everything, trying to work out what to do and make sure we don't goof it up too much. But I think we did pretty well. First race we did okay, second race we missed a little bit, but stoked with the third one to get a flag. It's always good when you can come down here and get a flag.
Awesome start of the series, mate, and all the best for the rest of the night and the rest of the week.
Cool, thank you.
As we look to our Super Saloons on the track at the moment, front row will be Partington, to the outside of him, Matt Summerfield in the 881. Then Trevor Elliott will be joined with Dan Pollock in the second row, and Brent Emerson and Mark Pitcher. Imagine how many laps are between those two drivers. Yeah. Then we go back to the 21N of Ian Burson and the 23 of Josh Verity. The fifth row will be Brody Abrahamson and Bigwood in the 36M, and that is our 10 cars that are out there, although we are missing one. Partington not out there. So what we can tell you is one car is being watched here. He's got to keep a gap, and that is being explicitly clear.
Indeed, so we're about to explode all over the track. There we go.
As we go.
And I don't know whether or not Trevor Elliott totally took on board the instructions, but
not at all.
But Matt Summerfield round the outside there with a terrific hookup, and just hope he can find the brake pedal, because that was a pretty amazing first lap from Matt Summerfield.
Oh, I think Trev yielded there to not let that go to yellow.
So Trevor Elliott and Matt Summerfield battling it out at the front of the field. Dan Pollock holding on to third place at the moment. Pitcher's right in the mix there in fourth. Then we go back to Brent Emerson, back out to racing this time around. And behind him, the 21 of Burson, the 49 of Abrahamson, and a good battle at the back between the 36 and 23 of Josh Verity. So that's 2 laps completed as they run through Enviroways turn. There's not much between Matt Summerfield, who is putting in by far and away the best performance of his relatively short Speedway career, to hold off the 27 of Trevor Elliott, and tucked in behind him an equally impressive performance in a short Super Saloon career of Dan Pollock, holding on to a good 3rd place at the moment. A few car lengths back to Pitcher, all on his own in 4th there, and then the battle with Ian Burson, who hasn't really quite come to grips with that chassis yet, I don't think. Holding off, well, no, actually not holding off Abrahamson, who just get nipped past him just as I was about to say that. He was, yeah. So out front, the battle rages. You get the feeling that Summerfield has got an absolute peach of a setup here.
He just thinks it's the WRX, mate.
Yeah, it's absolutely working for him. And Trevor Elliott trying his very best to run the inside line, but has to scrum off so much speed that around the outside here at this point of turn 2, Summerfield just gets the hook up and gets ahead.
Summerfield hasn't moved off that line all race. He's done the same thing every corner, and he's just drag racing Trev down the straights.
Yep. Of course, that 881 car, I wouldn't describe it as necessarily underpowered, but probably not the most powerful of the cars in the Bolton stable. And therefore,
it's got a Klein motor in it now.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say well suited to this slick track that it's on at the moment. Side by side, yet again, that's 8 laps completed, and you couldn't put a playing card between them as they come. But you get the feeling that Elliott is just a little quicker at this point in the race, and I think we'll get his nose across start finish first. Oh, I don't know though. It's neck and neck, isn't it?
It is. It's all going to come to
last lap.
How coming is Trev in the last lap?
I hope for either of them that neither of them make a mistake. Trevor Elliott just pushed a little harder out of turn 2 there. Matt Summerfield's got to really work it around the outside. I don't think he's going to do it. The track came to Elliott, I think. Elliott came to the last lap with just a little bit more racing now, and Matt Summerfield has to settle for 2nd place, but by far and away the best drive of his short Speedway career. And Dan Pollock is there as well in 3rd place as well. Yeah, excellent drive from him.
Trev just did enough to stay with him, and knew that if he just flinched the brake a fraction of a second in that last corner, he would just roll a car length through on him, and that's what happened. Summerfield, though, bringing the car home in one piece. You know, there's a lot of guys who think it's easy to jump into one of these cars, and Matt jumped from the rally car into the Super Saloon, and just to keep it
and that
together.
will do his confidence, and Dan Pollock performance will do his confidence a heck of a lot of good as well. On a tricky track with a quality field this time of the night, they brought the business.
It doesn't hurt the confidence of the car owners too.
No, true.
Because when you put someone into a car, you kind of hope that they actually can start pulling results. So we've had the Streetstock. It's another series of points handed to us. So I'm just going to turn the light on so I can read it. So yeah, Mike Jones now leading with Alan Finch.
You used to laugh at me when I couldn't read in the dark.
You're still older than me, Tony.
Sorry, carry on. As you were.
I am a lot closer to 50 than I am to 40, I can say that though. But looking through here, Simon Bland actually dropped all the way back to 9th, but of course he's in another round of racing.
That's going to come out
so this
next.
Is where
it leapfrogs itself. Yeah,
So
exactly.
Mike Jones has sealed the deal. Realistically, if you're in the top 20, you've probably sealed the deal. So that's, there's a couple of cars I'm surprised are in the top 20 when I look at that. But if you're at the other end of the field and you are, where are we here? Fleming, Sean Andrew, Perry Soper, Ben Turner, you're done. Your night's over. 0 points. There's no way of coming back from that. But even when you start looking at some of these cars, Buddy Finch on 121, Jacob Campbell on 10, Blair Ladd on 6, Alan Aitchison on 6, Corey Torito on 6. Their nights are challenging at best.
Yes.
It's when you start getting into this sort of a group here and actually
between 20th and 30th really.
So car 29th position at the moment, car 1NZ to Paul Leslie. He's only got 19 points. Put that into context, our leaders are on 60 points.
Yeah.
So he's not going to pull enough points to even get up there.
Get wholesale tyres in Whakatane.
Need truck tyres? Wholesale tyres. Good tyres, better prices, great people.
Alan Finch, mate, you won that last Streetstock heat. How does it feel to be a winner this evening?
Yeah, no, it was good fun. Challenging track, but it was awesome to get Jonesy right at the end. And yeah, I've got to thank Hoon. It's actually his car that I'm borrowing for this meeting, so it's good.
I thought I recognised it. It looks pretty damn good, and you seem to be piloting it quite well. Is it like a duck to water with you?
Yeah, no, it drives really well, So yeah, hopefully the good luck continues.
Sweet, mate. Well, I'm sure you'll have a good rest of the GP. All the best, and we'll see you a bit later.
No, cheers for that.
Well, it's not bad when you get given the former 1NZ car.
No, not surprised to drive well. Yeah.
So as we grid, the one or two cars are starting to fall out now. A few broken. So really this race is actually the one that Paul Leslie has to pull the rabbit out of the hat.
He does, yep. He's got to get to the front and stay there.
As do I dare say the Garthlys mid-pack too. They've had a quiet night. Jono, of course, won this event when it was non-sanctioned GP.
Yep.
Last season. So Brooke Peterson, 428. She is on pole. Koken Woodridge directly behind her. We're on the lights now. We're in the starter's hands. We are green and racing. As we away, and Leslie gets on the gas quickly. So does John O'Garthy, who hooks on the back of the 1NZ. They'll all head round low on 3 and 4. As the 84 car leads us down the back straight, followed by the 10. And here comes our 1NZ. He knows he's got to get some points. He'll be a little bit desperate for it at the moment. He's screaming up the inside of the 10 car. Of course, the track a little greasy. He goes in, sets the Commodore through. So it is the 84 out in the front at the moment, followed by a screaming Paul Leslie. The 10 car back to Brooke Peterson in the 428. The 39, we've seen that in action tonight, with Jenkins coming through, Aldridge in the 54, and then we're going red. It'll be for Gooch is parked in this...
Exactly the same spot he was last time.
Yeah, although the incident down here, with the rescue truck down to here is being turned 1 and 2. I can see it, my hands are pointing, but it's not so good if you're trying to figure out what I'm talking about. But Gooch parked over in the fence at turn 3. Never get a short-sighted announcer. Make life easier. There we go. You can see we're going to go racing again. We are. And everybody gets up and going. Here comes Paul Leslie in the 1NZ. He's taken over the lead. He is hauling in the Commodore. One of the few Holdens actually in the finals race the other day, Nelson, and he's got through on the 84. Brooke Peterson there on the inside of the 10. 37 car of heart, and Gooch has parked himself in the wall again. This is almost his favourite parking spot. He's going to hate going in reverse around this track. As our race leader comes through. This is the Paul Leslie we all know. As the 8V car spins out of turn 4. As our race leader onto the back straight, past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand. He is pulling away from the 84. Red light on, and that's going to be for Gooch. Now we've got the other referee back now. He's yelling red, red, red in the headsets. So Gooch parked in there again.
Looks as if there's a fair bit of damage in the rear panel work over the rear wheels there, doesn't it?
That looks like a normal Streetstock. Oh, look at that. Look at the sponsor on the stream there, Tony. I wonder who that company is in the top right corner. Oh, no, it's Candy Fish.
Oh, they're good guys. They know what they're doing.
We get the 6G car pushed to the infield. And this is a sprint race to the end. We're on lap 5. 4 laps are completed. Our race leader is at turn 2, almost at the apex of turn 2 and turn 1. Running in reverse. Lights are out. We are in the starter's hands. We are away and racing once again. And it is Paul Leslie leading us. Back to the 84N and the 428 of Brooke Peterson. And here comes John O'Garthy on the back of Jenkins. Gives him the hurry up. Out in front though, it is Paul Leslie. You sense almost a level of desperation, and you watch the way he's driving at the moment. He has got the hole wide open. And then we got a group of 4 battling it out for second spot. Gone red again, and it's
another wheel and axle. In almost exactly the same place, and dare I suggest, from exactly the same car.
By chance, it happens to be the same side too, doesn't it?
Yes.
So, I don't wish to be cynical, but we might want a review on how we put that axle back in there. Yes. Well, at least he knows how to fix it. Oh, well, sorry. At least he knows how to put it back together. Oh dear, and it actually does, to be honest, from a safety perspective, it gets to be a wee bit of a joke when it's the same problem all the time. Anyway, our race leader, Paul Leslie, look at the gap he's got. He's got virtually the entire back straight over Brooke Peterson and Ryan Morrison in the 84N. Also in there, over there, is John O'Garthy's managed to join in there with Ben Jenkins. Lights are out, we're in the starter's hands. Oh, we're creeping. No, we're away. Don't have to do anything silly here. Just bring the cars home. And Jono has, yes, this is the little bit of desperation we knew that Jono had. He's managed to get through. Got through on Brooke Peterson. She's sitting down low. She's third at the moment. Battling it out with Morrison for that third spot. Our race leader, he's heading round, about to come past the pit gate. The 1NZ, the drain mate car of Paul Leslie. Just out of curiosity, we looked at the ELS. There is quite a gap between the two cars, first and second. And Morrison looking up the inside of Peterson. It looks like he might have got it. Jenkins there just gives her a wee tap. But it is Leslie at the moment. He's into the back markers. There's John O'Garthy. I would have to say Jono's got to be the fastest car on the track at the moment. Yeah. But he's nearly a third of a lap back on the 1NZ car. As we watching there, what have we got there? Two to go. Leslie heads past the Valley Cars Warehouse grandstand. He's got through on the Sold and Eden car at the back there. Chris Miles given a bit of a tickle up there by Soper. As the 3NZ is possibly, if he carries on the way he is at the moment, going to be lapped by the 1NZ car. White flag is out. Leslie doesn't have to do anything stupid, doesn't have to do anything silly. He's just going to bring it home. Garthy's in a similar boat as he is heads down the back straight. But our race leader, it is the 1NZ of Paul Leslie. He will have, I'm picking there, Tony, he will have done enough. Picked up another 20 points, thrown that into the total. That'll move him up the totem pole a little bit. That at least gets him to tomorrow night.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's what this is all about. It's about your grid position for at the end of the night tomorrow, because that's where the money will be earned in that final race.
This is that whole drive for show, putt for dough. Yep. This is the driving part. Tomorrow night's the putting part.
Yep.
As we look there, Paul Leslie followed by John O'Garthy, Ben Jenkins, Brooke Peterson, Corey Schumacher, Simon Bland. Simon Bland will have secured a spot. He may have dropped a few places on points, but that's what happens in the wash.
So slowly, what you're seeing is the cream rising to the top, isn't it?
Yes.
The drivers that we know are fast, the drivers that have been fast all season, have proven it in meetings prior, are now starting to rise up the points table. and sitting where form says they should do, for the most part. Yeah.
As our Super Saloons head out, there will be the final Super Saloon race of the evening. The front row of the grid will look like Hayden Mackay with Ricky Bolton side by side. The next row will have Jacob Flynn in the 6B with the 88 of Manera to the outside of him. Third row will be Edwards with Jackson Lovelady. Then Malcolm Nartai with Joe Ingram, identical cars actually side by side. Ray Stewart and Richie Taylor will round us out. And actually no, last car on the track, it will be Matt Green in the Mustang.
So, the X Factor Can-Am scoots to the middle of the track. The cars are about to go over the chalk line, and away we go with 861 and 86 racing side by side. Just one between them. And it's Bolton who gets the jump, I think, ahead out of turn 2. Hayden Mackay has to yield into second place. Jackson Lovelady looking pretty fast, running a midline on the track there in third. Oh, a lot of bouncing around there for the Manera car, and also for the 27 of Ingram. Ingram settles it down, runs to the inside, get past Manera. The front three have cleared out a little bit. Jackson Lovelady, a neat little outside pass on Mackay there. Mackay will let that go, I think. He'll know that the racetrack will come to it. Oh, we've had a spinner. Manera. And is that Bolton?
No, I think that's Edwards that spun.
Edwards, it is too.
So the 88 car spun on its own. I'd say he's pinched the brake, and Edwards has put the car in sideways to avoid him. It'll be interesting to see when we go back a lap where that puts Jackson in relation to the 86, because I think
he made the pass just before that happened, yeah.
So the 17C car, this is the best turn of pace I think we've seen out of this chassis since Jackson started driving it.
In quite a few years, yeah, I think it's true. It's really good to have the referee in areas. I think it's it adds a lot to what we can do as commentators, and hopefully it's helping keep you all informed as well.
What would be really interesting is having the drivers retort back in.
Oh, two-way radio now.
But that wouldn't be able to be repeatable.
So Ricky Bolton leading them down the back straight. He's going to mash the gas pedal very, very shortly.
Yes, he's got to stay into this file until now. There we go.
Away we go. So can Jackson Lovelady get that pass done on Hayden Mackay? Oh, something's come off a car there. Right,
Edwards. I think he's lost a wheel. If not, he's certainly lost the
insert or something. Just rode the wall, I think. But all I could see in my peripheral vision was a piece of car running down the track. All right, so we're going to get a restart this time round. Again, Ricky Bolton mashes the throttle and away we go. Hayden Mackay staying with him this time. The 17 car of Lovelady just dropping off a fraction there through turn 1. And Jacob Flynn making a good move round the outside of Joe Ingram. So out front, completing a lap. Does the rest of the field come through? It looks as though it will. So we're completed a lap and we're into the racing mode now. Ricky Bolton needs to make this count. He's had a few, shall we say, lackluster heats, and he needs to bank some good points here off the front. Hayden Mackay needs to stay with him. Prove that old chassis of his can compete with the brand new Pro X. Jackson Lovelady, third place at the moment. The form driver of the night. One of several, but definitely up there. Joe Ingram, he's been performed very well tonight too, and if he can stay with Lovelady, that'll be a good result for him. Richie Taylor battling with Jacob Flynn. Flynn, the young guy, coming through. Richie Taylor, the older guy, getting past on both sides there. Won't be very happy about that. Malcolm Nartai starting to find the track coming to him now. Almost coming together there between Richie Taylor and the 34 car of Ray Stewart. Stewart poking the nose up the inside. Taylor didn't see him, but Stewart backed out. So back down the back straight past the Valley Cars Warehouse Grandstand. 861, Ricky Bolton through him for a waste turn. Onto the front straight. ticking off lap number 6. This 10-lap race. Aidan Mackay staying with him, stuck to the back like glue. A couple of car lengths back to the 27 of Ingram, who's got past Lovelady. Lovelady's done enough tonight. Finishing 4th here would be a satisfactory result for him. Malcolm Nartai's come through from near the back of the field, taking over 5th place now, but he's got a battle on his hands with Richie Taylor. As the track slicks up, Taylor gets quicker. Ray Stewart and Jacob Flynn battling just behind them, and then at the back of the field, Manera and Green. So 7 laps are down now. It's about to be 8. Ricky Bolton leading this field from the get-go. Can he bring this home for a race win? Aidan Mackay might have something to say about that. Joe Ingram can't make any indent on those front 2, and Jackson Lovelady just dropping off now from Ingram's pace. Those are your front 4, and I'm not sure the order's going to change from this point in. We're on the last lap. Ricky Bolton just needs to bring it home, be sensible, not take any risks here. Aidan Mackay, I just don't think he's got the car under him to make a serious challenge, and Ingram's just a little bit too far back.
I think Ingram was just a bit in the back of Mackay as he went into turn 3.
It's always going to drift wider though, and that's how they finished. 4th place, Jackson Lovelady. 5th, Malcolm Nartai. Ray Stewart, Richie Taylor, Jacob Flynn, Dave Manera and Matt Green.
Yeah, on a very, very slick track. Of course, the biggest mistake that some of these drivers can make is put the car in the box and then pull it out tomorrow night thinking they're going to use the same setups. Yeah. It's going to be, of course, as we said, we're going to do a bit of track prep overnight. It's going to be a very different track. Final race of the night, and this track actually probably suits them, is the stock cars, because they head to finish their qualifying for the Canterbury Stock Car Champs tomorrow night. And that race brought to us courtesy of Erect Scaffolding.
Vince here from Roadrunner Power and Paint, and I just want to do a shout out to the guys at Sign Solutions. Hi, Scott here from Expert Cars. If you need signage done in Invercargill, get in touch with Sign Solutions.
Kelly here from First Space Recruitment. Want to do a plug or a shout out to Sign Solutions. They've done fantastic work. Communication is great. Highly recommend them. So Sign Solutions, head on down and see them today.
Paul Leslie, 1NZ. Your car's on the trailer, in good shape. Finished, first place in that last race. Good night for you, mate.
Yeah, not too bad. Got the nerves out of the way now, so it's pretty good to go. It's always get the first checkered flag after you got the one.
Perfect. And I understand that race actually took you from 29th to 18th, which is pretty important.
Yeah, that'll help. That'll help.
That's news to you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
I do the numbers, not you.
Yeah. No, I haven't looked at the points all night. I just get out there and race and see what happens.
Yeah, no, it's all good, mate. And the new 2NZ was saying now that he has the number, he's feeling a bit more pressure tonight than he did previously. Are you finding that with the 1NZ? You've got the biggest target on you. What's the pressure like tonight compared to previously?
Yeah, I probably put more pressure on myself, to be fair. I sort of thought, I've got 1NZ now, so you got to live up to it a little bit. So, yeah, the first 2 were a little bit of a dud, but yeah, getting the grips of it now. So
sweet. They might be leaving you alone tonight, but man, tomorrow night it's going to be one heck of a wreck fest. What do you reckon?
Yeah, tomorrow night's going to be cool.
It's going to be a wicked, mate. All the best for tomorrow night. We'll have a chat to you again tomorrow, no doubt. Thanks very much, Paul Leslie.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Very happy looking Paul Leslie down there in the pits. Just a reminder too, when you leave after this race, there's only 1 lane out tonight. It's not like Boxing Day when you were last here and you could use 2 lanes to get out. Just 1 lane out tonight, and please be careful on the railway line.
Yes. That is actually still a public road. As soon as you hit the tar seal, that is actually a public road. What years ago it used to be a paper road, but the council in their wisdom have taken it over. And so we don't have the luxury of being allowed 2 out, 2 wide. So it is 1 lane out, and yes, do stop at the railway crossing. And we grid them all up. Well, Matt Richards leads us, is at the front by himself.
Sponsored by Golf, I see.
So is the 9112 just quietly.
Oh yeah.
There's about 5 of them out there. But anyway, we're in the starter's hands. We're about to go racing. Richards leads us away, and the 911 looks to the inside. Craig Robb's car will love this track, nice and slick. Brosnahan coming through in the 606 car, and Robbie Edgeworth in the 77. Been a bit of an incident at turn 2, but everyone seems to be still mobile. It is Rob that will clock up the first lap, followed by Brosnahan, Richards, Edgeworth. That was the 11 car in the 521 having a moment. I felt the vibrating through the building.
Thought they were going to launch through into the commentary box or not.
Well, that's fair enough. They are stock cars. This isn't a beauty pageant. It is Craig Robb battling with Brosnahan. Brosnahan's going to get through. Richardson's been spat out wide by the 77 car. And the 9 car of Cox has spun. As has, is it Aris in the 521? Yeah, it is Aris that spun as well. The 88 car of Cleveland, flat outside right front tyre, so he's pulling to the infield. Smoke billowing out of the 17 car, and he's going to do a donut by himself at turn 4. Race leader, it is the 606 car, followed by Rob's going to go to the inside.
This could be awkward.
17 cars parked in a lovely spot. Rondell limping up by the wall. Oh! And Brosnahan just ploughed into the back of him. He might not have been limping.
No.
And Brosnan's just launched at him, fired him to the infield. Rondell's all of a sudden got acceleration. And Brosnan's about to get taken big time. He got the tubing and put out there and got the second hit. And Rondell fires into him again. Rondell's determined to get the 606k. He's climbing all over him. And he's got him. So I don't know what it was about, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
And the 16 car parks behind it. To be honest, if you're going to park behind it, you might as well push start him. The 43 car of Bonnell's parked on the middle of the track out of 4. And I'm not quite sure what's going on down at turn 4 here, other than we are doing some autocross test. Rondell's on the infield, so I'd say he's fairly broken. No, he's going to come back out on the front straight. Interesting. No, he's on the infield still. So I'm not sure what is. The 97 car goes around the 16 in the 16 car just stopped behind him. The 606 of Brosnahan. And we're still racing. Cox going to the infield. Smoke still coming off the back of the 17. Well, that's been one consistent tonight. Thine has taken over position from Craig Robb, and out of all of that, I actually think Jay Holtom's our race leader. It's James Thine and Craig Robb. Tyler McPherson running 4th. All of that happened in that little confusion, but Holtom having a good run here. He's up through the inside of Brooke McPherson. McPherson, just swerved over and didn't notice Thine. Thine clipped her and she just straight into the wall. White flag is out. Just about got to put warning cones on down at turn 4 here. And our race leader is Jay Holtom. The white flag is out. Red. What the? Well, that's intriguing. After all of that.
As soon as the red comes on, 16 just moves out.
Craig Robb plays it smart here. He should go hard right around the outside of both of them, because one of them is going to have to avoid the 16 car, if not both of them. Trying to see where the Holtom's turned the wheels to. Oh, someone's back for it. Alright. Rescue truck will park up back in the middle. Once the rescue truck's there, we'll be racing. White flag is out. So we're going from turn 4 to the checkered light flag. And Thine gets the better start. Back to Holtom. And Craig Robb, Tyler McPherson had to swerve to avoid his sister in the 46. That was our final stock car race of the night. Robbie Edgeworth here trying to have a crack at Jamie Bolton. That'll come back to be fun tomorrow night. That was night 1 of the New Zealand Streetstock Grand Prix, Extreme Super Saloon Series and Canterbury Stock Car Champs. And I'm a little puffed, Tony.
Yeah, it's a little breathless, wasn't it? It was particularly that last race, it was all on. We're back tomorrow night with youth mini stocks, plenty more heats for super saloons, street stocks and stock cars. There's also some couple of rapid charges for the street stocks. There's a Super Saloon, 2 Super Saloon 15-lap features at the end of the night. And of course the Heat 3 of the stock cars will be pretty full on, and then the last race of the night tomorrow is the Garage 16 New Zealand Grand Prix final for Streetstock, so that will be breathtaking, I think. So, thank you everyone for turning up tonight and braving a cool evening and watching what I think has been a fantastic evening of racing here at Koken, Woodford, Glen. Big thank you to Garage 16 Media and the Black Baldy Cattle Company for sponsoring the event tonight. If you're looking for some of the results and points, they will be on the Facebook page or the website by the morning. And if you've been watching the Pits TV and our live stream, thank you very much for taking the time and doing that. We hope wherever you are in the world, you've enjoyed your racing. From us, good night.
Hey, Trevor Elliott, you won one of those Super Saloon races. Tell us about what it's like to lead a field that good.
Oh, it was great. It was great. The car I was racing, we went every lap right to the very end, and on a slick track, and we both held our lines, and I thought it was a great race.
Because it was neck and neck right to the end there, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was just trying to claw half a metre every lap, and I think he made a wee whoopsie, and that was enough for me to get through.
Perfect. Always watching out for that little mistake. That's all you need in a Super Saloon, right?
Yeah, mate, because if I make a mistake, there's someone behind us going to pounce on us. So, yeah, we're trying to keep it smooth.
So a very good start to the series. Are you looking forward to the rest of it?
Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow night and have another go and see how we go.
And what's your pick, your crew? What events do you reckon they'll be doing well in? Go-karts, golf?
Oh, I'm not sure. Not sure. Won't be golf.
Everyone's saying not golf. Why is that?
Don't play golf.
That would be the obvious one, isn't it?
Is it mini golf?
No, not mini golf. It's the big boy golf.
Oh, no. I don't think any of us can hit a ball.
So all good, Trevor. Lovely to talk to you tonight. We'll see you tomorrow, and all the best. Enjoy your night, and I'm glad to see that your car's on the trailer without any damage.
Yeah, no, she's all one piece, so it's good, and it's actually my old car, so it's a pleasure to do well in the old car.
Beauty, mate. Well, you make it look brand new. So we'll see you tomorrow night.
Okay, thanks very much, Vince.
No worries, mate. All right, let's go down and have a chat to the winner of that last Super Saloon heat, Ricky Bolton. And what a man to finish the night off with as well. For Ricky Bolton is one of the men behind this incredible series, the Black Baldy Cattle Company Extreme Dirt Series. Man, we were with the Bolton racing team this afternoon, and man, the work that's gone into this Extreme Dirt Series, it's next level. Like, how awesome is this? Like, are you proud?
Yeah, we are pretty proud. Proud of the guys that's travelled all the way down here too from the North Island. It's pretty good to rub panels with the best in the country, Track's been challenging tonight, but everyone's been on the same bit of clay, so good to finish the night with a win, and we'll come back tomorrow and see if we can do it again.
Sweet. So winning's always good. We did talk about that this morning, and you kind of decided that was one of the prerequisites that you had to tick the box of, and you've done it.
Yeah, we've done that for tonight, and it'd be nice to get a feature though. I need a feature, one of the 4 or 5, because man, there's some good cars here. So come and see me. We win a feature, I'll be happy.
Yeah, man. Look, the turnout here is amazing, North and South Island, and it's just good to get things underway with good spirits. A bit of a test night, not too much damage. Everyone's kind of rolling their cars away, but there was some really good racing out there tonight.
Yeah, there will be, and I think tomorrow will be worse, harder. 2 big features too tomorrow night to finish it off, so it'll be mean.
Magic. Well, thanks for taking the time, and all the best with the rest of the series.
Yeah, we'll talk to you tomorrow night. It'll be excellent stuff. Thanks very much, Ricky.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, Aaron, what a night it has been. We've had the Extreme Dirt Series, the Garage 16 Streetstock GP, and the Canterbury Stock Car Championship. The first night of that. Tomorrow night we're going to repeat it all, but it's all on the line. We have set the scene. Tomorrow night's going to be fantastic. What do you reckon?
Well, that was what it's all about tonight. People coming on a Friday night. Great crowd here at Koken, Woodford, Glen. And we hope the audience out there in Pits TV land have enjoyed what's been brought to them as well. So, qualifying night, everyone did what they needed to do. They got around the track, fairly slick track as well. So, there was a little bit of grip sort of roundabout in that centre line, but that was holding just a little bit moisture. But way out wide, there was quite a bit of moisture sitting there. So, if everyone had gone a little bit too wide, it would have just sucked you into the wall. So everyone pretty much kept their heads screwed on and went out and did the business in the street stocks and in the super saloons and in the stockhouse.
Man, you're getting pretty good at reading this track stuff. You've been reading up on it.
Yeah, mate. Well, I kind of got to these days. I've got to pedal my own one around the track every once in a while. So look, and I spend a lot of time with the crew chiefs and all that sort of stuff as well. So it's good to get out there and get a read. I don't know what they're going to be able to do with this track tomorrow, but we'll see. I know Fluffy will get himself out there, and yeah, I reckon it'll just be even better than tonight. So if you're not here or can't be here tomorrow night, get over the Pits TV, get yourself a live stream, and come and see the action with us.
And that's it from us.
It is it.